need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut.
What are you? He's the best.
Yeah.
He's a master motivator.
I'm a master motivator. I ain't no regular ass motivator. I'm a fucking master.
Coaches tried to make practice so hard that the game was less intrusive. Like they coached you that way. Like people think, well, they were just yelling. No, they were trying to put you under stress and put you in under duress so that when you got in the game, you could mentally handle adversity.
If you go through JUCO and you make it out of JUCO, you can make it anywhere.
I respect the hell out of you to see that you're doing what you're doing and still doing what you're doing for real, the way you do it, man. From day one, you had the same enthusiasm. You keep the same enthusiasm, and it's fucking contagious.
In my opinion, I think Shedeur Snow's the best deep ball in college football. I don't think
Can you just say something nice about Shedeur Sanders?
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
And I proudly stand up next to you all. God bless America.
You said belt to ass, T-Rich. You got the belt around you.
What up, man? We're in the building. It's Talk That Talk Tuesday. So talk, and I will talk back. I'm sure a lot of you have a lot of talking to do on a Talk That Talk Tuesday. Steve Kim will join us as Smitty and I will take it over from here. Make sure you head on over there. Pound that like button. The more likes we get, the better the show algorithm hit. So make sure you pound that like button as you walk in the door on the realest show on Planet ERF. Never trust a sandbox country, especially Israel, as Trump issued a warning early this morning to both Israel and Iran and told them to bring their planes back home, as we thought a ceasefire was agreed upon yesterday as it broke worldwide. Now it seems Trump is pissed. They have yet to cease fire after the allotted 12-hour timetable that was agreed upon. I always said not to trust Israel as far as you can throw them. And I always said to stay out of the sandbox desert land of fucking nobodies. These people have been fighting for thousands of years, yet always come begging for Big Brother's help when they need when their resources are low. I say fuck them. Fuck them all. This is huge for Trump, as the Democrats will say this morning that Israel controls him. And for the half of the MAGA who turn their back on Trump, who will say, see, we told you so. Trump is pissed, as he should be, but damn, a man took a bullet for this country only to have half of it turn its back on him as they voted. Half of the country turned their back on the man they voted for. It's quite telling if you really think about it. We have our own problems here in our own country, the land of the free and the home of the brave. We can only hope and pray that this gets done today, because none of us want war. Only money-hungry politicians and warmongers want this to happen. We don't need our troops in this and don't need to help Israel any more than we need to help Ukraine. But what do I know? Let's dive right into it with my main man, Far East Sider, Naptown legend, 317, LeBron hairline having, Lamar Jackson loving, and AR5 defending. No longer Pacer fan and Caitlin Clark jocking, Big Smitty.
He lying, y'all. I'm Naptown to the death of me. Caitlin Clark about to win it all.
I thought you had a Trump shirt on. I thought you had a Trump shirt on. Oh, go ahead.
Nah, I would never do that. I got live for today on LFTclothingbrand.com. We still got merch on there. Go get you a shirt right now, man. It's Talk That Talk Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. I mean tacos today, JB. Regardless of what happens to me, I'm getting tacos. But it wouldn't be me without you, Young Bailey in the background. We got Robert Kelly in the comments. We got Quinn. We got TJ Riddell, KCBD, Gold Blue, and Jake Webb.
R. Kelly?
It said Robert Kelly. I mean, You know, jail nowadays, JB, they have phones, they have access to a lot of things, so it could be R. Kelly in there.
Speaking of R. Kelly, I sent a video to you and Bailey last night. Have you seen that? It's his
I watched it this morning. She's 29. They've been together for 10 years.
Yeah, it's crazy. Maybe I'll get a special guest that's got quite the insight on that R. Kelly case. Maybe I'll get her on today. We'll see. We'll find out. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully Lauren can be back on this week. She's going to find out. She's in court as they hit day 29.
I think, ain't the case supposed to be ending like today, hopefully, or something like that? I saw something like that.
Well, he don't have any
witnesses, right? Or defendants.
Yeah, I don't know witnesses. That don't look good for him. So I don't know. But R. Kelly, though, it's interesting. Because I've talked to my attorney that is his attorney, and she's like, JB, if you only knew, this shit is like so deep that she's scared they're going to try to put him under, 6 foot deep and try to cover this whole thing up. She swears by it. And she's a straight shooter. She swears that he hasn't done the shit they say he's done, bro. Not everything, but I'm saying like the main, a bunch of the shit. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We entered a ceasefire yesterday. The world was praising Trump. This morning, Trump said this to the news media, leaving NATO. Take a listen.
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too. Are you questioning if Israel is committed? Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. When I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
That sounds like a fucking dude that's kind of pissed at his sons.
Right. No, exactly how it sounds like.
That's a dad. He sounds like a dad. Sounds like a leader to me. I don't know. I'm just saying. We'll see if he can get this deal done. It's unfortunate that any sitting president that we've ever had in American history, though, is always, I guess we'll say graded, since we're football guys, always graded on what he does for some fucking other country. Like it's funny that we never grade our sitting president on what they've done for us. Like, if you really go back and look at it, like, we don't grade our fucking presidents what they've done for our country. Like, we talk about the presidents that have been assassinated on U.S. soil and Kennedy situation, and we talk about the presidents who helped stop this war, the Gulf, stop that war, start this war, win World War II. Nobody ever talks about fucking what they've done for America. Because you know why? We're always protecting some motherfucking body else, homie. Like, when we gonna fucking protect ourselves? That's what the number one thing is. But we'll see. We shall see how this thing unfolds. But I told you, I said the other day on my show, on another show, Israel ain't to be trusted, homie. Never have been. They'll use us to win that little section of the Middle East so they can control shit, homie. Fuck them. And I hope Trump sees it. I hope Trump gives them a big fuck you. And it'd be crazy. It'd be crazy, man. If shit changes and we fucking change our direction of certain things and tell Israel to shit or get out the pot.
Have you seen like those like little edits of like their prime minister like over like the last, I don't know, 30 some years saying the same shit as far as like Iran is a week away from having their nukes ready. He's been saying this shit since like 90. Like 80, 90.
Well, 90. We've been saying it since 99 ourselves.
Yeah. Now
like we've been saying like since 99 they've been in the process of trying to make nukes. Israel's been saying it probably since the 80s. Like they all, I believe they have all got uranium to try to start doing it and making them. Like it's been I mean, Iraq and everybody else, Syria, fucking Syria has them.
Yeah.
So like, it's just, I don't know.
And I'm sure that's true. I guess this, when you watch some of the videos though, like he would say it so matter of fact, like it'd be 1988. He's like, these guys are about 1 month away from having their nuke ready. And then he'll say the same shit again in 2000. The same, after a while, it make you just make you think, like, is this motherfucker just lying to try to get us to, I don't know, attack? I don't know. Like that. That's another thing too. I don't know. You don't know what to believe in certain situations, but hopefully this ceasefire can actually go through it, and Iran and Israel will listen, because, like you said, nobody want no war.
If Israel don't listen, though, they're going to be looked at. They're going to have, I believe, in my opinion, and I'm not the greatest political fucking voice, but like I said, I do have a brother in the Air Force, and he's told me some interesting things over the evening. Here's the issue. You're going to hear a knock on the door, Israel. Not from us, from China and Russia. That's going to be the fucking thing that no one wants to talk about. You're going to hear this fucking knock on the door. Excuse me, Israel. We got 2 million people here in your country, and we protected you, and we told you that we won't stop. We won't help Iran, but this don't help our cause. When we said, hey, you fucks, ceasefire happens and you drop a big old payload, like within the first hour, homie, that to me is a slap in Trump's face. That's a slap in America's face. If I'm Trump today, I can't act if I'm Trump. I don't want to even sit in those shoes. But I'm saying, fuck you, Israel. Fuck you. You're on your own. You said you could fucking drop them. You said you could drop them. You said you could drop Iran with like a 2-piece yourself. And remember, you said you didn't need us?
Yeah.
So fucking go do it. That's all I'm saying. Go do it. Shut the fuck up. You're a fucking nobody. Go fucking away. Become a member or you get blocked, bitch.
What's the name?
Some shit. Sounds like he got a bag of balls in his jaws. Let's dive into
balls in his jaws. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I shit, homie. I posted a thing on Twitter yesterday. Did you see that motherfucker?
No, I ain't see that, homie. What you post?
Homie. Bailey, I don't know if you can see it. I posted a thing. I said, this motherfucker literally has balls in his jaws. It was a made-up human that apparently is what was it? Oh, it's a made-up human TikToker or some shit. And apparently, I think it's suing, or I forgot what it is, but Bailey, you see it? Show that, homie. I have no idea, Smitty, what it is, but like,
yeah, I got me nervous now. I didn't want to look at it.
This for y'all though, it's y'all.
It ain't for y'all.
It's y'all, the left. I mean,
I don't know what that means.
Now let's dive deep into the big LGBT story for today. I'm Raji Narayan Singh, and let's queer up trans rights.
That's a set of balls on the right side cheek, homie, and on the left side it's 2 balls going like coming out of the cheek. On this side, it's the sack. You notice?
She look like Gold Dust from wrestling. If you pull up Gold Dust from WWF, everybody Google it. I know some of y'all young. Type in Gold Dust. Look just like this.
Like, play it without voice. Look at the jaw. Look at the set. It's a ball sack on the right, and then the 2 balls are protruding on the left, coming out of the jaw. But look at it. It's a full sack on the right, and then 2 nuts on the left. This shit is wild.
That's acne, homie. That's major acne, homie.
That ain't
kind of scary.
That ain't no
acne. You look kind of scary, bro.
Not no acne, homie.
It's like major acne, homie. Like from the procedure.
Acne, homie.
From the procedure, it's like major bump from the procedure.
Acne. Homie.
What is it then? The face don't do that.
Yeah, I do when you suck dick.
I don't see no girl's face like that.
Because it's not a girl.
No, but you said when you suck, when you give head.
It's a man. It's a dude changed over, homie. God damn. You know what I thought it was the motherfucker in Seattle that we had a commercial for a long time. Hey, motherfucker, I'm going to get you off. I'm going to get you off this motherfucking case. I'm going to win you this case. Remember that dude, that big motherfucker?
I remember the commercial, yeah.
That motherfucker was like solid, like 6'5", 260. Like,
DN.
Yeah, what was his name? Anthony or Tony or fuck, I forgot his name.
Yeah, you know the name.
No, I don't remember it, but
you know it.
Goddamn, Stephanie.
That was your guy.
This motherfucker Stephanie. Anyway, quote of the day, Smitty. Speaking of skin, quote of the day: scar tissue is stronger than regular tissue. Realize the strength and move on.
All right.
Scar tissue, Smitty, is what you saw right there. It was an impression of balls in her jaws. Okay. But scar tissue, like if you get cut, I got a bunch of scars. That skin is actually much tougher than your regular skin. Your skin's regularly smooth. You touch a scar, it's what? Rough, hard, rigid, hard. It's tough. It's tougher, homie.
So are you saying you get stronger after you go through stuff?
Yeah.
All right.
Realize, but you got to the part of the quote you don't understand is realize the strength and then move on. That means you've already endured the cut.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a little deeper for you.
It is deep. I'm still trying to like manifest it right now. I don't know if I should like put it top 200. If I
you can keep going. You can actually keep going and dive it into it more. Like I got cut. Am I a bleeder or am I a scabber? I'm a scabber, so I scab right up. Then guess what it does? It creates this scar tissue right away for me, homie, and I've already become stronger and moved on. A lot of cats bleed out. They bleed. They're bleeders, homie. They don't realize I'm sorry. And then guess what? You get balls in your jaws like that fuck just had.
I think you bleed though, JB. I think if I punch you right now and your nose, I think your nose will bleed.
I don't bleed. Well, I mean, human, you're gonna bleed. Bleeder doesn't mean you show what you bleed on it. Bleeder means fuck, you hit me in the nose. I stop bleeding.
Real quick.
Most cats keep bleeding and they bleed out. Like motherfucker bleed out from a nose. Like Keith Smith will bleed out and die.
Just keep going like
this. Yeah.
Like a blood thinner.
Yeah, homie. Like, come on now, motherfucker. Where's your platelets at? Contrary to belief, Smitty, what comes easy won't last, and what? Sorry. Fuck. What comes easy won't last, and what lasts won't come easy.
It was hard to say, though. It was very tough to say.
Nah, I fucking lost my train of thought. But yeah.
Great, like really good CTB though, like top 25. But
it just
fucked it up, so I can't rank it now.
I was thinking of Keith. What comes easy won't last, and what lasts won't come easy, contrary to belief. It's true, Smitty. You can break that down any way you want to. If somebody gives you something easy or cheap,
that's true.
You know it's usually shitty.
Yeah.
And you get what you paid for. What you get what you paid for might be one of the most truest sayings there is.
I've learned that more and more as I've gotten older and got a chance to get my own money and do stuff. And I compare it to what I used to do when I was younger and just didn't know no better. It's like, damn, like you really do get what you pay for. And you can't get mad. If you didn't pay a lot for it and you don't get the results you want, you can't even get mad. It's like, damn, I paid $20 for it. I can't really, like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like those chairs you bought in our studio. When I sat down on it and it just broke and bent and I was way lower than you, I couldn't even be mad. You couldn't be mad because we paid $15 for it.
Yeah, I got like 3 of them for like $100. I knew it. Because they matched the decor. You know me, I'm going to try to match up our decor. We had the gray. Fuck. Smitty was sitting.
We did 2 months of a show where I was sitting way down here. That's literally what led to everybody think like they really thought I was like short as hell. And I'm not the tallest guy in the world, but I'm above average. But people see me and they're like, oh damn, he ain't as short as I thought. Like I'm taller than most people in the chat. So when they see me, like, oh, I thought Big Smitty was like 5'8" for real. I'm like, nah, homie, I'm not tall, but I'm not no fucking short. I saw Bailey in person. Bailey taller than me, but he was like, oh, okay, like motherfuckers taller than I thought.
Yeah. I woke up this morning and I went to bed last night as a Gilbert Arenas fan. Woke up this morning, hate him. I hate him. Don't want to see him ever again.
I'm so pissed right now, and I hate it because I am a Gilbert Arenas fan. I like his show and all that shit, but he's tripping right now.
I don't know. I just heard about it. I was like, no way. I saw it on a little couple clips. I'm like, you got to be out your.
I added to our like we'll find a time, you know, today to like dive into it.
And I'm gonna be real. I'm a Tracy McGrady guy. I love Tracy McGrady. I said Tracy McGrady is one of the most effortless scorers we've ever seen.
He's my second favorite player growing up, so I'm not disrespecting him. He was my second favorite player growing up.
effortless scorer. Like, he was unbelievable, like, in his prime. T-Mac and Kobe used to go at it. T-Mac was like an unbelievable scorer, no question.
Yes.
He told me he was going to come on the show. I got to get him on the show. But I want to talk to him personally about it.
Me too, though.
Oh, yeah. Fuck Gilbert Arenas.
Like, not even no disrespect. Because, like, again, I was like, man, Kobe and T-Mac. Because I thought T-Mac, from a offensive skill set standpoint, could pretty much do everything Kobe could do, but he was also taller. So I was like, damn.
How does Gilbert Arenas have a tattoo of Kobe, though, then? Have you seen Gilbert Arenas on Dan Patrick's show yesterday?
No, I didn't know he had a tat.
Motherfucker has a tat of Kobe. Like, no shit. He has a tat of Kobe.
I would actually like to have him on the show too, though, just to give more of a explanation of what he's trying to say. I just don't like the fact that Kobe's gone, and now we're having all these conversations. Almost, whether they're trying to do it or not, it is devaluing his greatness by saying comments like, from T-Mac's perspective, and I get where he's coming from, but from T-Mac's perspective, he's like, if you switch me with Kobe, you think I don't get 3 rings with Shaq? Saying that comment makes it seem like what they did was easy. It makes it seem like, oh, well, he had Shaq, so of course he gonna do that. Whereas, like, hello, T-Mac, I love you. You was a baller, but let's not act like you ain't have a team with Yao Ming and Rayford Austin and Shane Battier and Ron Artest, and like, you had a squad too at one point in time. And at the end of the day, T-Mac never won a playoff series. That's a fact. And I love T-Mac, but if we're going to go this route, he never won a playoff series. Series, JB. Like, think about what I'm talking about. Series. So that you can say I didn't have a good enough team to win it all. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's cool. AI didn't have a good enough team to win it all, but he won playoff series and got to the Eastern Conference Finals and got to the NBA Finals, et cetera, et cetera. If you don't win a playoff series, how in the world are you in the same conversation as Bean? It don't make sense. Conversation closed right there.
I like Nick Young, though, because he's like,
he getting pissed.
he tweeted out, I don't know what Kobe did to these motherfuckers.
Right, yeah, I saw that shit.
I just like, I got to find the clip. I can't find it, but he was on Dan Patrick's show yesterday. But if you go back in time and look at some of Gilbert's interviews,
he's a love Kobe.
In January of 24, he said Kobe was the GOAT and he should be conversed with Michael Jordan in the GOAT conversation. He said it on a video. I have the video right here. I can show it, but it's not that deep. But listen, I'm just fucking with you. I don't hate Gilbert Arenas. I'm fucking with you because he has his opinion just as I have mine.
Right,
and everyone's going to come out and say, oh, he's a hater. Gilbert has the right to his opinion. He played in the NBA. He scored 60 fucking points.
And played against those guys, too. So I get it.
Those guys, and I watched him playing here at fucking LA Valley and growing up here. So the guy's he was an unbelievable scorer himself. I don't really care.
And clutch, too.
Yeah, I don't care what your takes are. You're entitled to your opinion, and he played. So, I mean, it is what it is. I think he just. That's
why I said, like, it would be dope to like get him on the show and just hear more. Because like on the flip side, I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. You know, I do that with everybody. I try to see the good in everybody. So what I think he's trying to say is that at one point in time, there was a point in time where we looked at Kobe and T-Mac almost eye to eye at one point, and then later on Kobe separated himself. If that's what he's saying, okay, cool. But I just feel like when you listen to more of the context and the conversation when him and T-Mac was on like first takes and stuff like that, it's like y'all trying to completely devalue rings. And I'm sorry, but winning, we heard Robert Parrish yesterday, and he talked about like winning and how important that is and the passion that comes behind that. Winning matters, and it does impact legacy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the problem I have with Gilbert though is the one thing, if you want to talk about, let's say Gilbert and myself in our opinions, and I agree you should have your own opinion and be strong and put 10 toes down and stand on business and whatever else you want to say about it. Cliche wise, I'm consistent with my shit. I'm going to always stand on that particular one. I'll admit if I'm wrong on something, but I'm going to stand on business on the actual original take.
Yeah.
He changed his original take 4 and 5 times now, though. Right. So that's the problem. And I don't know. We'll see. So we'll see. Donald Trump just posted Israel is not going to attack Iran. All planes will turn around and head home while doing a friendly plane wave to Iran. Nobody will be hurt. The ceasefire is in effect. Thank you for your attention on this matter. That's what he just posted. We'll see, Smitty. We've seen that tweet. I don't believe tweets or anything anymore. I'm so tired of social media. You don't ever know what to fucking believe anymore with anything. And a tweet's not going to tell him. Like if I tweeted you, Smitty, and said, "Hey man, I got $1 million for your ass," and then, like, to me, what is the validation? How do I know I'm getting $1 million? How do I know it's true? How do I know it's real?
I need to see it happen, right? The action.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know. Anyway, we didn't have Gilbert Arenas on the fucking bingo card today, but we just wanted to bring that up. But Smitty, poll question for you. If Trump does end this war, will you then agree he was the best choice for president?
What a poll question here.
Look at homie. Trust Trump, homie. Trust Trump, your homie. Trust Trump, homie.
Context matters, Jason.
I'll wait for you.
Nah. Context matters, Jason. I'm smart. This is an old tweet. Trump said something to support Lamar's ability on the field.
Trust Trump.
Lamar did a quote. Trust is what Lamar. This is like his tagline, homie.
Yeah, trust Trump.
It's his tagline. Trust. He say big trust. Him and like that's big thing. He's been saying it forever.
He a Trumper though.
That's fine.
Answer the question, yes or no.
Context matters, homie. If he stops the war, then I will shout him out for doing that. That's a win. I can't tell you that means he's the best option because I don't know what the other option would have did.
That's not the poll question, homie.
I don't know what the other option would have did.
What? Are you stuttering?
I don't know what the other option would have did.
We'd be fucking in Iran.
And that's what you're saying, but I don't know.
We
didn't think we'd even be in this position.
If Trump ends this war, will you say he was the best?
Let me flip it.
You gotta ask a question.
Are you a Lamar Jackson fan now then? Since he put trust Trump? Are you a Lamar Jackson fan now? Since he put trust Trump? Is he your favorite quarterback? Will you admit that Lamar Jackson is a Hall of Famer and one of the best quarterbacks in the game today and can throw the ball? Will you admit that? Answer the question, homie. You stuttering, homie.
All right, I'll break news right now. Breaking news. If Trump does it and you come on and agree that he is the best choice, I'll come out and say Lamar for MVP and Lamar is the best quarterback in the NFL.
You gonna say it or you gonna believe it?
Both. Now what, homie? Now what?
Let me think about it for a minute.
Nah, homie. I'll change my way. I'll say Lamar's the motherfucker. His motherfucker.
It's bigger impact on me in my community. You saying that and don't even move and shake.
Because then I go back to
I come on here and parents cut this shit and I say Trump was the best.
That's gonna be
That fuck my whole like the hood ain't with me no more. Like,
the hood changed.
That changed everything for me.
The hood switching up on you, homie. They
just ain't Compton. All my Compton homies ain't rocking with me no more.
Compton's Trump, homie. You don't know no Compton. Let me you know what's gonna really happen if you do it? You might be the trendsetter. You might be the one that all the cats come out like the roaches come out of the light and be like, "Damn, Smitty, that dog. I've been saying that shit." You know how BPS? You know how BPS is? I've been saying that shit, man. I just didn't want to really come out and let the homie know because I didn't know how they was gonna be. You might flip the whole shit, homie, because the OGs are already flipped Trump. They already flipped Trump, so you might as well go ahead and do it. You might as well go do it.
Look how he said he might go ahead and do it. That's BPS right there. What you just did at the end. You might as well go ahead and do it. Like trying to like really convince and sell somebody on it. I was thinking about doing it, but D. Jones said this. D. Jones said, "Don't do it, Smitty." He said, "Stand on business." And like something about the way he said it made me feel like, damn, like I gotta stay who I am.
This is why some folks will say, "Smitty, you don't have no backbone." You're gonna listen to a guy.
Who said that?
A bunch of guys.
I'm over here now. Man.
You're gonna listen to a guy with no profile picture that we've never met. We don't know this guy.
He called in before. We've seen his face before. He called in one time. Yes, he did.
And he didn't have a face. Remember?
It was a black dude. Yes, it is.
No, he didn't. He had a fucking gnat. Homie,
I'm telling you, he called in.
D. Jones, we don't know. He's a nobody. He's absolute nobody. D. Jones is trying to get you to act as if he's for the cause. I ain't seen D. Jones do nothing for no young brothers. Have you? But he want to come out here and keep talking and shit, homie. Like, I put my resume against D. Jones in the hood any day we want to talk about it.
Oh, you might not win that one. You might not win that one.
D. Jones is nobody. He does nothing. So that's my point,
He's in
homie.
Florida. You wouldn't know what he do. He in Florida.
Don't believe D. Jones when he talking about staying on business. This motherfucker don't even know what business is. He don't know what side he shits out of. Damn. He don't know if he shits out his pee hole or his asshole. Every day he changes and flip-flops. Damn. Stop. You don't trust a motherfucker that's wishy-washy like him, homie. We say wishy-washy in the hood, wishy-washy ass motherfucker.
Well, stop right there then. Stand on that. You don't trust somebody who's wishy-washy. Stay who you are. A few minutes ago, you just alluded to Gilbert Arenas. You said one thing about you, that you're going to always be consistent. So if I'm listening to what my coach is telling me right now, I got to stay consistent and I got to stay on the side that I'm on. So I got to politely pass on you.
Well, I would never say that Lamar's good, so fuck him. Let's move on.
And that's my laugh too, by the way, that you stole years ago. So
no, it's not. You stole mine.
He did it again. I stole homie from you, but you stole my laugh from me. That's a fact. Anyway, moving on amicably. What we got next, homie?
By the way, you know who D. Jones is, Minnie? D. Jones is the motherfucker that if Trump stops the war, he was always a Trumper. If the ceasefire doesn't end, he knew better. He knew Trump was a racist MAGA.
so you call him a front runner, basically.
Oh, he's a flip-floppy, wishy-washy motherfucker.
I feel like D. Jones been consistently against Trump the whole time, though.
I'm a good judge of character. You know what I'm saying? I'm a good judge of character. Go ahead. He's like a Clipper fan. He like Clipper fan. That's what that D. Jones reminds me of, a Clipper fan. Well, Clippers and the Jags. Exactly.
Right.
Same shit, D. Jones.
Well, let's move on, man, to another big topic that's going on, man. I don't know if you saw this, man, but OKC fans were seen harassing his mom and his young Pacers fan after the Thunder won Game 7, man. Check this out. I'm pissed off.
Y'all though,
that's hella weird to like be messing with a kid though, like trying to pull a shirt or a towel or whatever from a kid. That's hella weird to do that.
Y'all against us.
That's hella weird to do that.
Why just care a little white kid?
And it's a mama too. Like, leave them alone. I was at a bar there watching the game.
So what's the context to it?
The game is over. It's Game 7. The fans were leaving the stadium. I think they were in OKC, obviously. So the fans are hyped that OKC won, and they're leaving the arena, and they're basically we call it trolling, harassing, whatever. Listen, I get it. Fans are gonna be fans, but this is a mother and her son who's what?
Why are you picking on those two?
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
Pick on me and Smitty walking down that motherfucker wearing a Pacers jersey.
Right.
See, that's what the motherfuckers don't get. I want to see Smitty and I get fucked with wearing a Pacers jersey walking down that motherfucker.
Right.
See, that's the problem, homie. Why are you picking on those two motherfuckers? A special ed kid, Gorgon, and his fucking mom is walking down the goddamn thing. Look at the kids, homie. Look at the little boy. Look at the little boy. Do another video of him. Fucking Gorgon and his mom, homie, and we're going to sit here and go after him? Shit me. Fucking Downsy kid. Fuck out of here, homie. You motherfuckers you guys are unbelievable, man.
I was at the bar watching the game, and this little brother came up to the game. It was like late, OKC was up by 20. He ain't said shit all game. And I'm at a table with all Pacers fans. He want to come to the table like, why ain't y'all cheering no more? Why ain't y'all cheering? I said, hey, bro.
Who said it?
Some random OKC fan. So I don't know who he was.
In OKC?
No, out here. I was at a bar. Yeah. I was at a bar with a couple like random Pacers fans. And the game had got out of hand late. It was looking kind of. So my point is,
brothers.
Yeah, brother. These are the worst kind of fans though, because they wait until like the game is out of reach or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then they want to talk shit. It's like, nah, talk shit early when the game was going back and forth. Talk shit early. And we over here cheering. We ain't talking to nobody. We worry about our own little table. But they want to come over there and talk shit. I almost banged on them, homie.
Should have. I'd have been rocking a Lakers
jersey. I kind of did, but I kept it mature though, because I didn't want, I was at a table with some white folks and stuff. I didn't really want to, go there. Just met a lot of them too. I ain't want to go there.
You should have saved the white folks, protected them. It's like
no, I did. I told I was the leader. I said everybody. I said because white people, y'all get mad, like especially fans, they get really riled up and mad. So I said, hey y'all, don't worry about this. Let them go, whatever. Let's just chill. Because if they even went there, I would have been the bad guy.
If you save a white kid or a white person in a bar, that white person is most likely affiliated with some sort of, let's just put it like this. Mm-hmm. It's like an NIL deal or a college kid graduating from a certain school and then getting that diploma from that school and having a relationship with the booster that owned the car lot dealer. And then later on, 4 years later, and go back to Norman, Oklahoma and get a car dealership job and make some, a couple 6-figure income. That motherfucker, you save them, homie. You can call them for life.
Yeah, facts.
Man, you told me you owned, some condominiums in Marina Del Rey. You think I got, I'm in this apartment over here on Fig, on Prairie in Inglewood. Can I get can you hook me up? My credit ain't very good. And then they put you in a penthouse, homie, for like a low. That's what would have happened. Because they guarantee they own all them motherfucking condos down there in Marina Del Rey. The people you was with. People you was just with is what I'm saying. Huh?
They live in LA. A lot of them from Indiana. Pacers fans.
Yeah, he think smarter, not harder, homie.
Yeah, and that's what I protected them. It was two fans. There was one that was sitting by us being this young, it's probably some 20-year-old, 25-year-old fans. I was like, I ain't got time to be fucking with these motherfuckers right now. I'm too old for this.
I heard you were scared at the bar. Rumor has it.
I don't know who told you that.
Yeah, the homie.
You got bad forces in.
I got eyes on everybody, homie.
Wasn't scared at all, homie.
Like if D Jones comes to LA, he has to check in with me.
Look the dude right in his eye.
Yeah.
At the end, matter of fact, he shook my hand. It's a respect thing.
D Jones has to literally check in with me if he comes to LA.
Why you though?
So that's what I'm running this motherfucker.
Big you locked up. So I guess you're next in line.
People don't know. But
when I moved out here, I didn't even know who you was. I ain't gonna lie to you. So
yeah, no, you did. That's a lie because you already knew.
When I first moved out, I did not know who you was. Right-handed guy.
You already knew.
And I didn't check in with nobody.
When'd you move in?
I walk around LA just like.
When'd you move in here?
18.
So you already knew I was because you already watched Netflix. You said it, so you lied.
But I did not. No. I said I did not watch your show live. I've still never watched the whole shit. I watched a few episodes, but I didn't watch it live. I didn't. I'm being real with you.
What do you mean live?
Like when the shit first dropped, when it was brand new on Netflix, I wasn't watching that shit. I heard about it kind of, but I wasn't watching it. I'm just being real with you. Oh shit. Take it off the screen.
Why? I'm the one on the show, not you.
I'm cool. Y'all were just with Matt the other day. Shout out to Matt. Shout out to Stat.
I don't really give a fuck. But I'm still on the show. Anyway, because they real recognize real at the end of the day. And that's the problem. That's the difference between me and you.
Ain't no difference between me and you. JB, you just disrespectful. That's just me and you.
Not really.
You think you can go around disrespecting folks all day and ain't nobody gonna press you.
How am I disrespecting anybody?
Yesterday, you had a clip where you called a lady a bitch at least 19 times.
Kind of went viral, huh?
19 times.
That clip kind of caught on a little bit.
It did, but damn.
You didn't vibrate, though.
Motherfucker was sending it to me like, I don't know how you kept your face like this. That's how I left the screen on me.
I got 1,000 messages from that video. I don't know. I haven't looked at it, but I don't know what it did numbers-wise, but I know.
There was like 20,000 likes last time I looked at it or something.
20,000 likes?
Or 20,000 something I saw. It was like 19.8 something this morning when I looked.
Let me see. Oh, shit. It's got I just found out how to look at views and shit a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah, 140K views.
Views, yeah, that's good, homie.
For Instagram.
I guess people like when you disrespect people.
No,
Anytime you yell and get mad,
yeah,
shit does like it does well.
They just thought it was the truth.
The fans don't like when you quiet and kind of they like when you like spaz out on like Mel
Did
Kiper.
you see that? Like, did you see the female comments?
No, you had a lot. I scrolled. You got a lot of love in there.
Oh yeah, but
like nothing but love, basically.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
But the females actually, there's only one female. She had no fucking idea who I was either. So she actually was talking shit, but I had to bang on her, bitch ass. And then all the other females were good. They were like, I'm not offended at all, and I watched it live. I saw somebody on I don't even go on Facebook, and I guess my Instagram goes to Facebook too. You know how it takes my Instagram shit. So I didn't know, and I said these comments. She kind of bad sister too. Said she watches the show every day live. I didn't even know who she was. I don't know how to friend her. I don't know who she is. And she was like, I wasn't offended, and I watched it live.
Did you slide her DMs?
Nah, I don't know how to do that on Facebook. I haven't been on Facebook.
Like click on her profile and then go to like message.
Yeah, I haven't been on Facebook, dog, and so far I don't even.
I barely use it too.
Well, you know, my homeboy makes $60K a month on Facebook.
No, he don't. He's lying.
I'm not. He's not lying. He's got 2 million followers.
Okay.
And he's the biggest bartender in Vegas. And
the bartender. Yeah, he cold with it. He cold with it.
$60K a month on Reels.
Tell him to send you a screenshot of the shit.
However, I've seen it personally and up close. And like he was showing me how to do the shit on Facebook. We were chilling at the Aria one night drinking it, and he was like, "Dog, you gotta get on these Reels." He goes, "They're trying to take over for the TikTok shit." Facebook tried to take over. That was a year ago. He makes huge amounts of money.
On Facebook got money, homie. Is your Facebook connected to your Instagram?
That's what I just told you. You don't listen.
All right. No, I heard. I was gonna make sure that's fully connected.
You heard me, but
yeah, I heard. I was testing you out.
And people say I'm just saying shit. Go fucking do some research. Homie, Facebook's paying like a motherfucker right now.
Facebook do make money for sure.
I just don't know. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to fucking like.
I'm tired of hearing that shit from you, homie. I'm tired of hearing that shit. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do this. Figure it out. You a coach, homie.
Come do it then.
You figure out how to win.
Come
you
do
figure out how to coach JUCO. You figure out how to turn young men into grown men. You figure out how to get people their second chance, their last chance. You send kids out the ghetto and put them in the fucking league. How many players you got in the league, homie? What's the number?
28.
28 players in the league. You figure that out, homie. Figure out Facebook.
Can you come do it?
Me, Bailey, Paris, Ethan, Derek, we're all depending on you, homie.
Depending on me. I knew.
Yeah.
Depend on the white man.
It's all on you, the white man. Exactly.
Always
you got the condos of Marina Del Rey. It's on you, homie. Figure it out.
Yeah. Then you hate the white man. It's fucking crazy. But anyway, moving on amicably.
Man, listen, your guy, your favorite guy, Shane Gillis, is your 2025 ESPYs host. The ESPYs is gonna be coming up here soon, July 16th, live on ABC, ESPN Plus, all them. Shane Gillis, tell us how excited you are about Shane. I know he did a whole little, podcast thing about you. You're a big fan of him. He's one of the funniest guys to you. Talk about Shane Gillis and your excitement for him to be your 2025 ESPYs host. Go.
Wait, time out. Rewind. You just said he's a fan of me or I'm a fan of him?
Both. You're a fan of his. He learned about you, if I'm not mistaken, Bailey, and didn't he do like a little segment or something, or he used a thumbnail, if I'm not mistaken, where it had Last Chance U on there? Or was that somebody else, Bailey? You know what I'm talking about.
Nah, this is him. This is him.
Thank you so much. So you guys are fans of each. Go ahead, Bailey.
They basically just talked about you and on, him watching you on Last Chance U. I thought he was a fan of yours. So
yeah,
should be no ill will, but
y'all fans of each other. So how excited are you for him?
Man said he called me. See, that's what I heard he said too. That's what I heard he called me too.
What?
Right there. Yeah. He said that.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I don't even like that term. It was like a weird term. Yeah.
He called me that, homie. That's what that's what they said he did. He did a whole video on me, like an hour-long video.
What?
I don't know who the fuck he is.
He's a comedian though, so like I'm gonna give it some like a grain of salt. I'm assuming he was just joking. Like he's not like
I don't assume.
I'm saying he ain't like banging on you. Like this motherfucker, like he's a comedian.
I don't fuck with him. Unless he calls me and lets me know something. That's bitch made. Don't do no video on me, homie, if you don't know, you ain't hollered at me and said and found out the real. You know, I give credit to Theo Vaughn, who called me. Michael Rappaport called me, had a discussion first, before doing anything about me or having me on their show. So, like, he didn't check in on me. D. Jones, you got to come in and check in like you got to check in when you come here? This motherfucker should have checked in. Now he's a bitch. So, fuck him. Fuck him. See, that's what men are supposed to be bitches, not women. So, you know.
So, a comedian got to check in with you before they roast you.
I didn't see no roast. I saw him talking shit. I didn't see no roast. Roast me all you want. That's fine. The motherfuckers went beyond a roast.
Okay. I didn't watch it, so I can't.
Yeah, he tried to get personal. He tried to get personal from the clips I saw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's another Drewski. Fucking nobody. He ain't no real comedian.
He got a show on Netflix called Tires that's pretty damn funny. I watch it
sometimes. Fucking real comedian. He ain't no real comedian.
Nah, he really. I'm not trying to be funny. He's an actual comedian though. Like no bullshit.
Based on what? How did he get started?
I don't know. I really don't know his journey.
He's not a real comedian, homie.
It don't matter. I don't know how he got started. I'm just saying he does stand-up comedy. He has a fucking TV show on Netflix that I watched. They just ended season number 2. It's called Tires. It's pretty funny.
I can already tell who he is, homie.
Nobody real to you.
Smitty, I promise you, I look at the motherfucker and I can tell you right now, he's a Disney woke joke. He's a fucking liberal. I tell you right now, I'm just looking at his face. I'm gonna be honest with you.
He's actually far right. He's not liberal.
I gotta butt in, JB, because you're so off about shit.
He looks soft. I don't give a fuck, Bailey. He looks soft as fuck.
Cook him, Bailey.
Smitty.
Cook him, Bailey.
He's hosting the ESPYs, Bailey.
Look it up. He does a little Trump thing. He's not liberal, bro.
Bailey, he's hosting the fucking ESPYs. They're
fucking Disney. He's known for making Trump jokes. Go
look it up. JB, you would host the ESPYs if they paid you. JB, stop it.
No, I want it.
Oh, you're lying. You're fucking lying. You're fucking lying.
Fuck ESPYs, Disney. Fuck
them. Hold on, no bullshit. You mean tell me if you got an email right now and they say, hey, JB, we watch your content. We love your energy. We're going to pay you $250,000 to host a 2-hour ESPYs event. It'll help your brand. Boom, 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 connection. Will you do it? You tell me right now with a straight face on Compton. You wouldn't do this shit.
Nope.
Yeah, you a fucking liar. Everything you say moving forward, I don't trust you no more. You're a fucking liar.
Wouldn't do it. I don't sell my soul to the devil, homie. So y'all are quick. Y'all, that's the difference between me and you. Y'all want the money for no matter what. Do you know they promote motherfuckers to cut their dicks off, homie? And boys to play with girls? And you want me to go on that stage? See, that's what you and Bailey don't get. You guys got me fucked up. If you really think I'm going to sell out for $200K, you got me fucked up. I'll make $200K doing something else, homie. That is on Pyro. Y'all, I'll make $200,000 doing something else. See, y'all got me fucked up. Half you bitch-made chat people and half the motherfuckers out here who don't believe that I really would do that got me fucked up. You got me fucked up if you think I'm compromising my motherfucking name. The only thing I have when I leave this earth, you got me fucked up. Fuck this motherfucker hosting the ESPYs, homie. I don't even know who he is. So that's how I know he ain't no real motherfucking comedian. He's a fucking social media motherfucker who made it big, contrary to Bailey's belief back here shaking his motherfucking head. He ain't no goddamn comedian, Bailey. You ain't even fucking old enough to know who a comedian is. Shut the fuck up. Motherfucker, he's a stand-up social media motherfucker like Drewski is, homie. Miss me with the real comedian shit,
him, Bailey.
Bailey, he ain't no goddamn comedian, Bailey. He ain't no goddamn comedian, Bailey. I would know who the fuck he was, homie.
So much money on this. You are dead wrong.
Bailey,
tell me how he started. Do your homework, JB. Do your homework, JB.
Tell me how he started. Tell me how he started. Tell me how he started.
He worked his way up in stand-up comedy. He's not Drewski at all, bro. It's not even close.
How, Bailey? How? Bailey, how?
Oh, my God. Bro, the same way any other stand-up comedian does. Going to open mics and building their fucking brand. Not like fucking Drewski on social media. That's a fucking fact. And I'm not lying.
How did he...
homework and look it up.
Did Bailey tell me how, motherfucker? You sitting here telling me the same shit.
I explained it to you. What do you fucking
No, you didn't explain
He's
shit.
on fucking Netflix.
He ain't no real comedian, or I would know who the fuck he was. He ain't no real comedian. He's a fucking social media motherfucker. He started with this phone. Huh? He started right here, Bailey. Same shit as Drewski. Stop. He ain't no fucking comedian. I never heard of him. I never saw him on no stand-up. I never seen that motherfucker at the Laugh Factory, homie. He ain't no real comedian. He use this shit, homie.
He does stand up though, and I'm not like a big Shane Gillis guy.
I know he does now. Are you two motherfuckers not very smart?
So all you say, hold the fuck up, homie. So you just saying that
I know now he does stand up, Smitty. No shit.
So you a real comedian though, homie?
No, I asked Bailey how he started. Motherfucker, sit over there. Motherfucker, tell me how he started, Bailey.
Bullshit. You're saying bullshit. You're dead fucking wrong. You've done no homework on this motherfucker.
How did he start? Why do you like this motherfucker so much?
I'm not. I'm just telling you you're wrong. You're coming at me, calling me fucking retarded when you're not fucking listening and doing any fucking homework on it.
Why do you like him so much?
Because he's actually a real comedian who worked his fucking
But you can't tell me how he started. You can't tell me how he started. But you still can't tell me how he started. But you like him so motherfucking much.
Do I go further, bro?
No, you said you know how he started.
Have you ever watched any show he's done?
Listen, motherfucker. Hey, listen, motherfucker. You told me you knew everything about the motherfucker, so tell me how he started.
Said that he's not Drewski, and I
Shut
said
the
you don't even
fuck
know
up.
who it is.
Little boy, shut up. You're 20 years old. You don't tell me what a fucking comedian
Yeah,
is.
I'm 22 and I'm right about this shit.
Get the fuck out of you, but you can't tell me nothing about him.
Do your fucking homework.
But you can't tell me nothing about him. Little boy, you can't tell me shit about the motherfucker, though. Shut up. You defend the pussy motherfuckers on planet Earth I've ever seen, Bailey. Drop your motherfucking nuts.
Here's the background. Shane Gillis is a comedian, actor, and writer from
social media star.
Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. In 2021, Shane Gillis
he played college football, Elon. By the fucking way, do your fucking homework on this shit. I'm not
so
stupid.
what?
Like,
so what?
Damn, dog.
Bailey, what the fuck does that got to do with how he started playing comedian?
I don't know shit about the dude. You're telling me I don't know shit.
You still ain't answering me.
Homework on it. He is not.
Bailey, you still ain't answering me. Bailey, get off the screen, motherfucker. You ain't the star. Shut your ass up and get the fuck out of here.
I'm right about this.
Get the fuck out of the screen, motherfucker. Shut up. You're goddamn producer. You ain't the fucking star of the show. Shut the fuck up. Goddamn. Do your fucking shitty show. Shut the fuck up. Motherfucker, produce my shit or I'll do my own shit. Shut the fuck up. He's telling me about other shit now because you can't answer me the fucking question. How the fuck did he start? Says right here, social media star, motherfucker. Now, how the fuck is that a stand-up comedian? Tell me that.
It said Gillis releases triumphant self-funded debut. Shane Gillis lived live in Austin with over 40 million views.
Now, Benny goes to fucking, he played football. That ain't how he started comedian, motherfucker. I don't give a fuck if he played football. The fuck we talking about here?
Compared him to Drewski, and it's not even close.
It don't matter. He still started the same way, Bailey.
No, he did.
Fuck out of here. He ain't a goddamn.
I'm done arguing this. I know I'm right.
Good. All right, Gil, go. He's not a traditional stand-up comedian, Smitty. Stop. Give me the stop. Tell me. So he's Chris Rock.
Listen, I don't know a lot about Shane, so I can't argue Shane. I can argue
Chris Rock.
But listen, I did my quick research. His first shit was a self-funded comedy stand-up thing in 2021 that he funded himself that got over 40 million views. And they say that's the thing that initially gave him that boost and that bump that got him going. It was a self-funded stand-up thing. He like
what,
his background. I don't. If it's, but listen, regardless of his social media, he did stand-up. You understand what I'm saying? No, Jamie, for real. No, hear me out. If I do stand-up at Laugh Factory, but I post it on social media, I still did stand-up. Regardless of where the content lives at.
Smitty.
You're talking like the content has to be picked up by HBO or something to be real. Like,
no, you guys don't understand how this works. You act like this guy started. Bailey don't understand. He wasn't around prior, homie, to a real stand-up comedian. He requires social media to become a stand-up. This guy required it. He didn't start on the fucking stage, Bailey. You can sit up here and yell all you want. He didn't start organically as a comedian. Chris Rock, Jamie Foxx, he's not those guys, homie. Stop. He required this to blow up. So, baby, you can sit back there and shake your head all you want. I'm fucking right, homie. He didn't start on a fucking stage selling out a fucking arena. Miss me, homie.
I'm going to be real, JB, though. A lot of people are saying he did, though, start stand-up. I'm going to be real with you. Like, and even the shit that I'm looking at. No, I get what you're saying. Like, I get it.
What you're saying.
But listen, we live in a different time where every comedian now is going to use their phone to something. Like, it would be stupid not to. Like, that don't mean you're not real.
I get all that, but we're dismissing the fact how people knew who he was or went to his stand up. He didn't go up to the Laugh Factory, homie, and had a motherfucking 30,000 there. Nobody knew who this guy was. Just like Drewski. Same shit, homie. Nobody knew who he was. Tell social media. Stop.
Drewski definitely used social media. That's a different category. And again, I still show praise to Drewski because I know how hard it is, but that's another conversation.
Let's be real.
Drewski did skits on social media, got big, then did comedy, boom, boom. I don't think Shane Gillis did skits and shit like that. I mean, I don't know. If I'm wrong, babe, chat, tell me. I've never seen like an online like parody skit of Shane Gillis. I don't think that's his background.
Let's be real though. But you said you don't know.
Yeah, I don't. No, but you're talking like you do know. But I don't know if you know either, though.
No, that's the point,
so
homie.
That's my point. So I don't want to
know who this guy is. We don't even know the guy is.
Well, we know who he is now.
Come on, man.
But JB, hold on. Before you move on, in all fairness,
we know now.
We don't know the history of every fucking comedian that's ever been out.
No, I understand.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, come on. Like, that don't mean you're not real.
My point is, homie, this ain't how the traditional comedian starts.
But this ain't traditional no more. It's in the 70s or 80s. So like everybody moving forward is going to use this. So are you going to discredit everybody else that ever comes out because they use their phone?
No, I understand that part of it. I'm trying to say that we're acting as if this guy started on stage solo organically. No, he didn't. He didn't start off that way. I know what you're saying. He needed this to blow up. I'm saying we know who he is because of this. Period. He didn't start off at the fucking Laugh Factory and fucking blew up.
Yeah,
organically.
I can't argue because I just don't know. Only thing I can do is quick research. I can do a deep dive, and they say his first thing was a self-funded thing he did. He GoFundMe, whatever, got the money gathered together, did his own actual stand-up locally where he's from in Pennsylvania, and he posted that on social media, which then blew up, which didn't help lead. So it would be like me going back home in Indiana, and let's say I dove into comedy, and I got all my homies to help me put money together, and I started promoting around Indy, and I did a comedy special with fucking 1,000 people there, but it was funny as shit, and I took that comedy special, and I chopped it up into 100 different reels, posted online, and then it blew up, and now that lets other shit. That's still me starting in stand-up, but I'm utilizing my resource of social media in order to grow that thing. That's what I'm reading, but again, I could be reading something wrong, so I don't know.
Yeah, this is the argument we have every time about these nobodies. That's the problem. That's the point I'm making, though. I don't get why the two youngsters are always going to disagree with the organic part of it. That's just is what it is. That's a straight up age gap issue.
It is an age gap. Let me ask you this and we move on. Yeah. What will it take for a comedian that comes out in 2025 to gain your respect as someone who actually earned it the way that you want to hear it? Like, what do they have to do for you to consider them a real comic? I'm just curious.
There is no more unless you're super funny.
I know, but how do you do it though? Like, in your opinion,
there is no more. That's what I said. There is no more doing it.
So moving forward for the rest of time, there will never be a real comic.
No. Meaning, do it how everyone's going to use this now. To your point, right?
Right.
So everybody's going to do this to blow up their shit.
Which you should, right? You agree with that, right?
Yeah.
All right.
So you got to be legitimate funny though. Like if I go watch you to say, all right, he's a comedian. He's just in this generation that uses this. And
you're the judge if they're funny or not?
Aren't you the judge of what fucking tastes good, homie? In your mouth?
No, for example, I don't think Jerry Seinfeld is funny. He's not my type of comedian. Me either. I'm not crazy. I know what type of comedy he's a comedian. But everybody don't like Dave Chappelle.
That's a difference, though. We know Seinfeld from his show.
Yeah, I know Shane Good from his show on Netflix. I swear to God, I'm not trying to be funny. I really do.
No, you know Seinfeld from the Seinfeld show.
I know Shane Good from the show called Tires on Netflix.
Seinfeld started as a stand-up comedian.
Right.
Okay, he didn't have any of that. He didn't get to the show unless he was seen doing what?
And what I'm telling you from based on what I'm reading is that this guy also started in stand-up as well.
What I'm saying is What I'm saying is this guy is only famous for his show. If he was just a stand-up comedian, you and I wouldn't even know who Seinfeld was. He was never funny to me.
Right. Like he was an art flavor.
I wouldn't give a fuck about him.
But
so
millions of other people do think he's funny, though. So that matters.
From the show. The show is funny, they think. That's my point. Like that. Seinfeld got the lead gig on the show from being what? A comedian. Somebody recognized him and said, hey.
But he had to generate some sort of audiences during those times for him to even. Right.
Yeah. Old
so
school,
people do think he played from stand-up then, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, Bailey, check the email because I think this is for today. I don't know.
Who calling me? Yeah, well, it's 7:02. Y'all boys want to do a quick commercial break or no?
What time is it?
It's 7:02.
Yeah, we got 15 minutes. Yeah, we're never gonna agree on this comedian thing. He's not funny. Unless he becomes super funny, then I'll say, hey, you know what? He made it and he's fucking super funny. I'm gonna go watch this Gillis thing. I would bet dollars to dimes, not trying to be biased, that he makes me laugh one time.
Well, you're already going in with a mindset of like,
no, because I've already seen him talk, and I already know his type of comedy. And I'm just telling you right now, he's not funny. Not to me. It takes a lot to make me laugh, I guess. I don't know.
And that's fine though. That's fair. But just because they're not funny to you, don't mean they're not a real comic. That's all I'm trying to say.
But that's why he's appreciated by the fucking woke, and that's why he's doing the ESPYs. Because he doesn't.
Bailey's not woke though. Bailey's not woke. He loves him.
I know, but I'm saying he does
Bailey's far right.
Yeah, I'm saying he does that gay, soft, weak fucking comedy, and that's what they like. So it's just for the younger crowd, homie. Bailey's comedy and my comedy is never going to align, Bailey. You could yell in the back until you turn pink.
He's been doing comedy well before social media era, bro.
Listen, son. You comedy and my comedy.
As long as you want, you can call me son as many times as you want. Doesn't change the fucking.
We're never going to like the same comedy, Bailey. If you shut the fuck up for a minute and listen.
Cut off 2006.
We're not going to like the same comedy. You like soft shit. I don't like soft shit.
What's year's your cutoff? Tell me the year then. If you're going to be like that.
There's no year. I just know the generation. I'm not going to like your comedy. I'm not going to like your comedy, Bailey. I'm not going to like your comedy.
Okay, then I will agree to disagree.
He's not legit. He's not legit. I've seen his clips already. After he did a segment on me, I went and watched these clips. He's fucking gay. He's not funny. He's not funny. You think he's funny because that's what triggers you. He's not a great comic. Then you don't know what great comedy is, Bailey. Shut up. Holy fuck. Go watch Richard Pryor, motherfucker. Then talk to me about fucking comedy. Fucking shut up. Holy fuck. Take us to commercial, motherfucker. Seen it, but in Seattle has some going on with the judicial department, and I just couldn't imagine me having to get like a pro bono attorney or like a public defender, and then I go to the public defender and this pops out.
Let me check on that.
So we were talking May 6, 8:45? Yeah. That works for me.
All right.
Do I need to sign anything?
No.
Just out of here. My comment about my client?
Yeah.
I just met her. She's really nice. She's really smart. She sounds like she's got the right idea about things. I really support what she's up to, and I think it's fabulous. How about that?
God, she's accused of, what is it, criminal trespass?
In the first degree, yes.
Is she innocent or guilty?
She's innocent, of course.
She's innocent, okay. Well, she's caught on video being arrested and protesting and allegedly protesting. So I'm trying to get all sides. So
my client has pled not guilty. My name is Stephanie Mueller. I'm in the directory for the Washington State Bar Association. You could look me up.
Okay, so Stephanie, thank you for your time. At this point, your client is being arraigned, though.
It's all just happened. Her hearing is over.
Got it.
It's done.
All right. Do you know when her next
Uso. Its name is Stephanie.
Why was her voice? Why was her voice so deep?
Its name is Stephanie. This is why women cannot coach men in the NBA, Smitty. This is what you have to understand is what's coming down the pipe, Smitty. This is why the women cannot be the head coach. Let me retract my statement. Women can coach in the NBA, and I think they should. They're very capable. I don't believe a woman should be a head coach of men in any sport because of situations like this. The delusion is flooding our brains. The delusion is flooding our brains. Did you drink? Are you okay? Because you had a lot of drink there. The delusion is flooding our brains. Did you see that motherfucker's nipples? The motherfuckers was hard as shit.
Bro got triple Z's.
But look how the nipple just poking out like it's like a laser beam.
It can shoot out of him.
There's no way I could call that thing Stephanie.
If she put her hands on you, like, what would you do?
I choke the shit out of it. I'm just saying, dog. Like, imagine Smitty, real shit. Like, I've been falsely accused of things, right? I'm sure we all have. But legality wise, criminally, I've been accused falsely.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to say, fuck no, I ain't pleading to shit that I didn't do, which I did. And of course I won. Clearly no issue. Here's the problem I have. Imagine come out of court and that motherfucker greets you as your public defender. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Well, my name is Stephanie, and I'm here to get you off all fucking charges. Are you ready to? Are you ready to fight this good fight? Motherfucking titties is out in your face. Motherfucker got titties and nipples. Hey, my name is Stephanie. I'm ready to fight the good fight. Are you? I'm also ready to fucking club the fucking offensive tackle and put that motherfucker in the QB's lap. Are you ready?
Why you sound like a superhero? Why'd your voice sound like a superhero?
Did you hear that motherfucker? Homie, did you hear the fucking voice? I mean, it's unbelievable. Just reenact this with me. Like I'm walking out, okay? I just got fucking horrible news. Jason Brown, please stand. Yes, Your Honor. We are charging you with the felony accusations of ABCD. How do you plead? Not guilty, Your Honor. Please be your arraignment will be set for February 21st. Please go outside, meet with your public defender as what is it? She is awaiting you. Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Okay, I'm gonna walk out. Bailey, cue it up. Bailey, show what I'm walking out to. I'm walking out to court. I'm walking out to meet my fucking public defender. And what is your name, sir?
She sounds like she's got the right idea about things. I really support.
Excuse me? What? 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 Judge, convict me now! Please take me to jail.
I did that shit.
I am 1,000% guilty, Your Honor.
Take me to jail, lock me up, throw away the key.
Hey, well, fuck it. I'll go home tonight. I'll drink my yak and smoke my stick, and I'll get it back cracking.
We back. Hour number 2, man. Make sure I hit that like button, subscribe, become a member.
You want to take Bathy?
Kelly.
Bathy?
Kelly.
up, mama?
Hey, Callie.
Hey,
Hey, Callie. Callie is Darnell. Callie. Hey, Callie. Hey, Callie.
They don't even know you. They don't know who you are. I mean.
Man, I gotta come to your crib at some point, bro. This summer. I ain't been in your crib in like a year.
Not a year. You were just here.
Super Bowl. But it's been a long time though. You know what I mean? And I got the new whip too, so I can pull up fast now too. Comfortable too.
When is the fight?
There's a couple fights. So Pacquiao fights in Vegas. I actually want to go, but I'm gonna be in Indy, and I'm thinking about flying from Indy straight to Vegas. I'm trying to see if my homeboy can go. Let me know if you want to go. Me, you, can meet in Vegas. We get tickets.
When is Crawford?
That's September 13th, homie. So that's what we do it here. But Pacquiao fights Barrios, though. I want to say, July 19th. I think it's a Saturday or 18th.
Is it true they're doing the Crawford fight on the day Pac died on purpose?
I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, that's the day Pac died, homie.
Oh, really? Hey, this is funny, man.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Steve the boss said JB and make a motherfucker pull blick and draw down.
I'm just saying that's what I heard.
I didn't know that. I mean, you know more. You know more than me.
You don't know when Pac died?
No.
He died on September 13th, homie.
Okay. I got a lot of shit going on, homie. I can't be remembering everybody's death date and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Pac, though.
Yeah. People said people call me Portnoy. I never threatened to fire Bailey, homie. I'm not a bitch ass Portnoy. I don't threaten to fire nobody. I like to argue and have a debate. I'm okay with cussing motherfuckers out. I was a head coach and an assistant. To all you fucking knowers of all things in the chat, you couldn't even walk a day in my shoes in a fucking football office, you pussies. Shut up.
You did threaten to fire me though before.
When?
That's the real thing. But hold on. It's time, man. It's Tuesday. Talk that talk Tuesday.
When?
It's Tuesday.
Hold on. Go back to when I tried to fire you, though.
It's been a couple times on the show where, like, I say something and you be like, all right, motherfucker, you take off the show.
No, not real. Not real, though.
You did. Chat, you know I'm right, chat. But anyway, man, it's Steve Kim Tuesday, man. He been waiting for about 30 minutes. I don't want to be mad at you, JB. So, Korean Cosell, the walking encyclopedia, knower of all things, the one and only Steve Kim. Bring him in. How you doing, Steve?
Gentlemen, good morning.
I like the all black, Steve. It's very fitting.
Thank you.
It darkens the room, though.
By the way, the next real fight that we should hang out for, July 12th. That's the Shakur Stevenson, William Zepeda, Hamza Shiraz, Edgar Berlanga. So let's do that one, Coach. July 12th.
All right, there we go. Set it up. Tacos and wings.
Steve, what are you doing July 4th?
Just doing what I do, probably.
I love
my head's gonna be on a swivel, especially if Israel don't fucking bow down.
I'm not going any places with a lot of crowds. Let's just put it that way. You hanging out, I'll come by.
I'm going on the boat.
That's the worst place to be at July 4th now.
If I get a Scud missile on the boat, then we're all fucked anyway, so it doesn't matter. So, Steve, let me ask you something. Do you know anything about this Tupac date that Crawford fight is on? Is that a real thing?
No, they're just doing it because it's Saturday. That's why.
Right.
No, because I saw
Mexican Independence Day weekend. So that you're diving too much into that.
What is it?
It's Mexican Independence Day weekend. That's been a traditional date for Canelo Alvarez, Floyd Mayweather before him. He kind of adopted it.
Yeah,
Turkey Al-Sheikh, I don't think gives a shit about Tupac. I'll be honest.
I think he's a Tupac fan, but we'll find out. Great. That's a great coincidence, Smitty. That we got Tupac's death day, but he's still alive anyway, according to the chat. So Tupac's still alive, Smitty. But go ahead, Smitty. We got a lot of questions for Steve.
Man, one of the biggest fights that went down this past weekend, man, that we need you to really break down, man. Your guy, Charleston White, 1-0, fighting one of the Island boys, and wins in a TKO. I think the Island boy tapped out, gave up at the end of the round, couldn't take the beat down anymore. And we kind of just wanted you to watch some of these clips, Steve, and you're our boxing analyst and expert. See if you can kind of break this down. Tell us the highs and lows of what Charleston White did here.
Steve, can you break down that weight class first?
Well, yeah, I think they're kind of light. I want to call Charleston modern day Pernell Whitaker. He's Slim P. He's really slim.
Okay.
Or I can call him Charleston Hagler, Southpaw, banging people out of there. But
is that his hair in the front or a bump on his head?
I think it's a bump on his head. But look what he did, letting his hands go, not running. That's sweet science. Honestly, he punches better than Adrian Peterson in most of the NBA. I give him credit because I've actually seen training footage. He actually works at this a little bit. He's not bad.
I could tell he had that's his hair piece. They got a little hair piece in the front, Smitty. I thought it was a bump. Oh, he knocked him down?
He threw him down. That
was really a knockdown.
So what was this for? Do you know? Does anyone know?
It's for money. This is what he does. He's a prize fighter.
Big money.
He gets paid to do this. I mean,
JB, I'm telling you, JB, if me and you box, we make a lot of money. Me and you fought each other.
Who's gonna promote it though?
We'll find somebody.
Maybe fucking Shane Gillis, whoever the fuck that is. But
Steve, I'm gonna ask your opinion. If me and JB did an 8-round boxing match, we promoted it for about 3-4 months. We got in decent shape. Do you think we could go out there and find some brand money for that?
You probably could, and I wouldn't make it 8 rounds. I don't think either of you guys could do that.
How about 8 2-minute rounds?
I would go 3.
3 rounds total?
You have no idea how hard boxing is. I will.
I know.
I will wrap your hands. I will say go in a heavy bag and do it properly for 1 round. You couldn't do it.
So, Steve, if we filmed the whole thing,
you train 2-pound hand weights. I'll say shadow box properly for a minute.
So you train both of us.
At the beginning, you'd have to really. I'm just telling you, anyone that does this that has never done it has a whole new respect for this.
Can I come do it with you one day?
Yes, you can come down to 10 Goose.
I got an idea though. Steve refs the fight.
Oh shit!
And Henry and
Henry Ramirez, my guy.
Yeah. Henry trains me because he's out here, and then have our other boy train Smitty because he's out there. What's his name?
Rudy Hernandez.
Oh, I got Rudy. Oh, I like my odds with that. And I'm naturally a better athlete than you. I'm stronger than you. I'm younger and I'm healthier than you.
And
so I like my odds.
I agree with and get Mario Lopez to be the announcer with
my damn.
With we'll get who? Him and who? Whitlock.
That might actually gain a little traction.
That might gain some traction for real.
I'm being honest. And then we film each other getting trained.
Yeah, the whole process, like a little docuseries.
A week, just a 1 week training, and then we fight.
But think about boxing, guys. The 3 biggest fights this month that most people are going to talk about, and all due respect to Junto Nakatani, Rodriguez, who beat Yafai out there in Britain this past week. But the 3 biggest boxing matches that are going to get the most traction with the American public is Charleston White, right? P-Dub.
Charleston White.
Jake Paul this Saturday. I'll be out there in Anaheim. He's the main event.
Who's he got? He's got Cesar Chavez Jr.?
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., not senior. And then the other most notable fight was Keyshawn Davis and his brother having the fight after. And I'm like, wow, what a June swoon. I might have to write about this.
That's a good point. That's a great point, actually. Like the main fight, the biggest fights are the bullshit fights.
Right. I mean, it's a snafu.
Is that a knock on the sport?
Yes.
Who do you blame? Are you blaming the promoters? Are you blaming the fighters for not promoting themselves? Like, what's the actual blame of it then?
It's everything. It's never just one thing. It's a little bit of everything. And I cover it. I still have to watch it pretty avidly. I do my job. It still beats working for a living. But the boxing schedule, and I've tweeted this out. I've actually written it. There's a lot of holes in the schedule. Like July 12th is a really good show put on by Turkey Al Sheikh, right? Deep card, several fights that I want to watch. July 19th is a really busy day with the Pacquiao fight, Alexander Usyk taking on Daniel Dubois, right? But then there's a lot of other weeks, gaps of 2-3 weeks. You're just like, wow, this is just filler, just spam, not steak.
Man. Well, let's stay on the topic of boxing here. Last week, I think I saw Bill Haney was out there trolling. Was it Richardson Hitchens? I think it was at the Fanatics Festival, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if you saw that or not, Steve. He was outside. I think he called him Bitchison. It was calling him out about, fighting his son Devin. Have you heard is there any news around that potential fight happening, or?
Smitty, what's happening is Bill Haney is making the rounds, trying to drum up interest, and that's part of his job as a manager, to get a fight for his son. But the way his son fought the last time, scampering around the ring,
yeah,
it was very unappealing. And by the way, I thought Richardson Hitchens looked very good against Kambosos. I know that there's a little bit of I don't know if it's an earned perception or a reputation that Hitchinson is not a great watch, but I thought he boxed really well on the front foot, planted his feet, controlled with the jab, and then stopped Kambosos, who had never been stopped before.
Right.
Hitchinson is a well-schooled technician. He really is. He's sharp, he's fast, he's quick, got a good boxing IQ. And if he fights like that, no one's going to have an issue with him. That was not a Tom and Jerry fight.
Right.
By the way, Kevin the Trucker's been making some memes of me and Mario with little Tom and Jerry. That man is the Picasso of the internet. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
Kevin the Trucker.
I love Kevin the Trucker.
Kevin, make sure you do this. Make a video of him and Mario and Smitty and I boxing and training. Do a thing and have Mickey, whoever it was, Minnie Mouse.
And have Tom and Jerry in there.
Tom and Jerry. Have Tom and Jerry fucking on the side trainer.
But I mean, Bill Haney, look, he's doing his job, but there comes a point. What if they offer him the fight and it's not the money he wants, but it's still a lot of money? The market's the market. So I don't know what's going to happen. Like Teofimo Lopez is doing his bizarre campaign that he always does. Ryan Garcia looks like, I think he might be out for the year. There's some injuries he's dealing with.
Damn.
So I don't know what's really out there. Boots Ennis just moved up to 54, which is disappointing because I wanted him to fight Brian Norman. So the more things are, the more they stay the same. You guys are talking about September 13th. I'm not really sure I'm going to that. I mean, I want to watch ball. Yeah. A lot of good games on that week.
Are you not expecting that fight to be as good as advertised? Are you?
It's not even that. It's like I cover boxing. I'll watch the whole card or most of it or what I have to. But Miami plays South Florida. I get 12 of these games a year. I kind of like to watch Miami Hurricanes in college football. It is what it is. I mean,
ain't nothing wrong with that, Steve. Go ahead, JB. I'm sorry.
Steve, let me ask you some. Max Kellerman officially returns to boxing September 13th as part of the broadcast. What's going on? I know you know the man. You like this move, or is this a move expected move? Did you think
it's expected? It had been brandied about. Jim Lampley's back, and as for that, I mean, it is what it is. I don't really care either way, guys. I watch a fight. Who really announces doesn't really bother me. And chances are I could be watching the fight alongside some football games, and depending on what game is on, that announcing crew calling football, they might be the soundtrack. Look, Max Kellerman coming back to the game of boxing, it is what it is. He's an announcer. He got a job. He got the gig. It's not going to make boxing any better. To me, it's about the fights. So September 13th, look at that roster of games. Someone showed me a list and I was like, wow, pretty good amount of games.
I wonder who Ball State's playing that day. I might have to check it out.
Nobody cares. So Marcel did a whole video on Max and how bad the fall has been for Stephen A since losing Max on First Take. It was pretty fucking hilarious, but
Max is like that's his boy. That's his homie. Yeah. That's been his guy. So, but let's dive to the rundown here, JB, man. Big topic here. Wisconsin has filed a tampering lawsuit against Miami over former DB Xavier Lucas's recruitment. I know JB and I kind of discussed this a little bit ourselves, but you being a Miami fan and all knower of everything there, we want to get your take and just insight on what's going on here and just what's your opinion on this.
Well, if you listen to Darren Heitner, who I believe is representing Lucas, they're not worried about this. I think one of the problems is they're trying to enforce a contract that at that point in time is unenforceable. I don't think Miami is really all that worried. And my biggest takeaway is, hey, next time Miami has a Xavier Lucas in their backyard, he never goes to Wisconsin. Miami on their end has to do a better job of player evaluation and then actually get him, because Xavier Lucas would have come in very handy last year, that secondary. But in terms of what's going to happen, when I'm in Hard Rock Stadium, Labor Day weekend, that Sunday night, I will be there. I'm really looking forward to it. Xavier Lucas will be one of my starting cornerbacks. I think that's the real story there. But the people that know the legalities of all this, they're not overly concerned. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, and I was talking to JB about this the other day. Like, if we're suing over tampering, I think like we're opening up Pandora's box. Because I mean, every school, let's be real, everybody's doing that, right? And to some degree, whether it's the end of games in the line, whether it's, I mean, coaches are finding ways to tamper and get the players that they want. So I just think this is a dangerous road to go down.
We've already opened
Pandora's. Yeah,
it's the old saying from Charlie Francis, the track coach of Ben Johnson. It said the reality of world-class track and field, or really athletics. He goes, it's a level playing field, just not the one you think it's on.
Yeah, it's already been open, Smitty, in my opinion. This is just, like I said, the guy's a pussy, and I have no respect for the guy.
By the way, folks, he's talking about Fickle, not Xavier Lucas.
Yeah, be clear.
Yeah, I have personal firsthand knowledge. So this guy's a fucking clown. He's an absolute joke. He's a liar. He's a shady fuck. Everything he does, and he knows I say it to his fucking face again when I boot his ass out of my office.
He's facing some heat. It's early on in his Wisconsin run, year 3. And he had a really good run at Cincinnati. He made the playoffs, got a lot of guys drafted that last year. But here's the interesting thing. I thought it would be a good fit because, hey, it's Wisconsin, stable program. But there's already some restlessness there. And I thought it was really interesting last season when he brought in Longo to run like a run and shoot spread. And I go, that's not what Wisconsin does. And I know that Tyler Van Dyke got hurt early. Coach, Fickle needs to put on a year where there is significant progress, or I think there's going to be some pressure on him in Wisconsin.
I don't think their schedule is going to allow it. I hope he fucking plummets. I hope he gets fucking buried. Phil Longo's a great friend of mine. He I never understood the hire because that's oil and water right there. Those two are oil and water as far as personalities, as far as philosophies, as far as all that goes, and that's probably why it didn't work out.
And they are in addition to the Big Ten schedule, I believe they are going to Tuscaloosa, and this year they are not going to play in Madison.
Yeah. And he has something to. I think he has the most pressure in football. Alabama.
DeBoer needs to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But to be fair, he went 9-4. It's not like they went 5-7. The problem is two of those losses. One of them was to Vanderbilt, so that felt like 5 losses. Then they got absolutely skunked by a bad Oklahoma team, 24-3. So that felt like 10 losses. So sometimes when you say, "Hey, you only lost 4," right? But how you lose and who you lose to matters. There is a context to this.
1,000%, especially when you're Alabama. So we shall see.
That play is going to be better, though, Smitty. I'm just telling you, as much as I like Jalen Milroe, an athlete, he did not fit what DeBoer wanted. Ty Simpson might be a better fit, and DeBoer's got his coordinator back, Grubby Grubb. Grubbs is back.
I don't think this guy, like, I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it, this whole thing. I never understood the move from Cincinnati to Wisconsin. And I get that the resources, I get resources, but other than that, Cincinnati had just moved into the big boys and they moved up. And I'm like,
but Coach, there's such a separation. People talk about the P4. There's really the Big 2 and the ACC Big 12. And I don't know how do you sustain what happened at Cincinnati for when they made that playoff run? The reality is now with the NIL and the transfer portal now just together, right? What Fickle built 3-4 years ago at Cincinnati, I don't know if you could build that now because the next Sauce Gardner that you recruit, guess what? He's going to get poached.
Yeah.
Get poached.
Alan was actually in my office when I fucking booted Fickle out of it. So he kind of knows what's going on. Alan's coaching now, but he wants to know what your take is on, and he does, previews on a lot of things. I'll tell you off air, but what is your take on Carson Beck? Alan wants to know.
I think Beck will be solid. Look, Beck will not be Cam Ward. That's fine. What he needs to be is the Carson Beck of 2023. People do not realize he was within a smidge of throwing for 4,000 yards. People do not, even last year, he still threw for 3,400. Okay, if you look at his actual numbers, they weren't bad. It's that Florida game, though, that me and you watch, Coach, just concerns me. Some of the throws he made in the middle of the field, if I was Shannon Dawson, I'd put on those plays. I'd explain what happened. I need to know what happened. But there's another factor. You talk to Georgia fans, there is a real debate over Mike Bobo, their coordinator. Let's just put it this way. They don't have him in his high esteem as Todd Monken. Let's just put it that way. Also, last year's Georgia's receiving core, if they were to be a movie character, they'd all be Edward Scissorhands. They literally dropped nearly 40 passes last year. That's actually a known stat. The offensive line was a little bit below average. Running backs, they had some injuries. What Carson Beck has to be is solid and consistent every game. Don't have to be Cam Ward. I actually like this Miami team. By the way, Miami actually, I gotta give Cristobal credit. We recruited maybe the best wide receiver on the West Coast and certainly in Southern California. Vance Stafford runs a 4.3 as a white guy. So that is not deceptive speed. That's just speed. Vance Stafford out of Mission Viejo. I like this. This is one that actually has me a little bit excited. He has an ability to hit home runs.
Is he full white?
He's white. He's milky white.
4.3?
He's so white he could be aspirin.
He might be the fastest white person in America. Okay.
Laser time, Smitty. Laser time. Laser. Oh, yeah.
Hey, Steve, before we get back to the rundown, I want to veer off this rundown real quick. I want to ask you something. Yesterday, you and I had an engagement with a fucking nobody on Twitter about Mahomes. And he brought up Mahomes, and then he wanted to be the smart ass response, asking for a friend. Well, I told him that his friend's a fucking idiot. And I said that, and so I broke down why it's significant that
I didn't see this.
Yeah, you haven't seen the response? Oh,
well, no, here's what happened, Smitty.
After
Sharp.
your amen, you said amen. After that, it was a tweet.
Well, I said Sharp football. Guy breaks down numbers really good, okay? And he put up a stat that basically 1/3 of Patrick Mahomes' passes were behind the line of scrimmage. Something that we
talk about all the time.
Certain coach has been talking about the whole time.
Yeah,
for 4 years.
Dink and dunk. And I just said, hey, coach, look at this. The numbers actually support what you have seen. So that's data plus actually eyeballing the thing and a guy that knows football. I didn't hear all the argument, but I don't think there's an argument. You can watch Kansas City Chief games and realize this is not the same system or style during the Tyreek Hill days.
Yeah.
But then his response, that guy's response, he said, I don't know if Bailey got it or not. He said some shit like, well, he broke down why he thought. Oh, here it is. Okay, so that was the original. 30.8% of Mahomes targets behind the line of scrimmage, blah, blah, blah. So then, and then he said, that's his question. That's Keith Simon's question.
What is the difference between an 18-yard gain on a dig route and an 18-yard pickup on a punch and slip screen?
Keith is not arguing with you. He's on your side, coach, by the way. If you watch all his videos. He's actually saying nobody really knows football. Keith actually played football. He actually coaches football. It's got a good YouTube channel. He's actually accentuating your point that most people actually don't understand football or the pass game.
Well, I told him he's a fucking idiot.
And
I said, go tell your friend that here's my response, Smitty.
JB's so quick to respond, Steve, without even giving people the benefit of doubt.
Steve, Smitty, you know damn well when you say asking for a friend, that's a troll take. You know that. So you know what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is I said your friend's an idiot. So I'm going to play dumb too. His friend's an idiot then. And then I'm going to say Andy Reid, don't trust your so-called GOAT to throw the ball in the teeth of the defense. That's what the bottom line is. And we had to make an offense to be created around that inability. And we've seen it in the biggest stage. In Super Bowls, he struggled in Super Bowls. Let's be honest.
With Rashee Rice coming back, and I'm going to assume that with modern technology, he'll be the version of Rashee Rice that we had seen.
Yeah.
And then you got Xavier Worthy, made some plays in the Super Bowl, had some moments, right? And they've added some other parts. Guys, this is a year we need to see Mahomes start pushing the ball down the field more consistently again. And keep this in mind. Nothing lasts forever. Kelsey is now at the tail end of his Hall of Fame career.
Yes.
It has to be a different style of offense.
Yeah, it's been over.
Unless they play cover 2, then no one has a shot.
As soon as he went with milk and magnesia, it was fucking a wrap. So I knew that. But I saw the downfall.
Money.
I saw the downfall. Yeah, and then the jab. He took the jab and got paid $100 million. I knew that was over. We'll see if he blows an Achilles or not. Don't
say that. No, Jason.
I said we'll see, homie. I didn't
But
say.
But why even say that?
Well, because we know the guys that took it got it.
Damn, homie, don't say that.
We all know that. But anyway, Smitty, drive into the next topic. I know
the next topic, and this is very fitting because you guys brought up Bama a few minutes ago. Florida State QB Thomas Castellanos tells Pete Nako, he's dreamed of playing against Alabama. He said, and I quote, "They don't have Nick Saban to save them. I just don't see them stopping me." I like that from the competitor in me.
Now, that's going to be the opening Saturday of week 1.
Damn.
But that game is at Tallahassee. Here's what I think about Florida State. They will be better. And again, people say, Steve, they were 2-10. You're right, low bar. But I think Castellanos actually fits what Gus Malzahn wants to do offensively. And it's a better fit than what Bill O'Brien wants to do generally on offense. So the +1 concepts, a lot of the quick game. They're going to do some design quarterback runs because he's a good offensive. He can run a little bit. Florida State will be better. And they got Tony White on the other side of the ball coordinating things. Florida State, I wish they weren't playing Bama for their sake. And what I wonder is, Coach, what if they get blown out 42-10? We might have guys literally just saying, here we go again, right?
Yeah.
You talking about like a SEC, ACC matchup, Georgia-Clemson game 1 last year?
Well, there's a difference. Clemson actually rallied to win 10 of their next 12. Right. They showed a lot of character. And what I'm saying is, if you watch,
no, I'm just saying it's game 1. It's games 1.
Right. No. But here's the thing: Clemson actually showed. We don't know how Florida State's locker room is going to react. We really don't. Last year they lost to Georgia Tech in week 0 in Dublin, Ireland. I think you could just see it. A lot of those guys, I think, mentally checked out. And it was evident because they played Boston College on that Monday night, on Labor Day night. I actually watched a little bit of that game a couple days ago. They didn't. Let me just put that. Some of their effort was lacking. It was. And I know DJU was not a great fit for that offense. He struggled. But Castellanos can play a little bit. Not saying he's Kyler Murray 2.0, but him and Malzahn are actually a pretty good fit. But he's playing Bama.
Well, Tommy Manners quote retweeted this and said, "Ha ha ha ha! What a joke and a quitter. Woo! Better do yourselves a favor and make him a slot wide receiver." Damn.
That's our guy, Tom McManus, former Jaguar linebacker who's been on the show.
He played for BC.
Yeah, BC.
He played in the 90s for
Tom
Laughlin.
Tom Laughlin. Yep. I don't know, Steve. This is the old school mentality. Like, he aligns with my thinking on this. I don't like when the player calls out a coach. Call out a and what I mean is, like, he's calling out the deficiencies of the head coach at Alabama.
Right, Kevin DeBoer.
That's what he's saying. And if I'm Norvell, I pull his ass in here and say, "Shut the fuck up."
What's the worst thing he could have done? Now DeBoer, all he has to do is just print that thing out and just put it right in the locker room, saying, "Guys, this is who we're facing week 1." But as for Kalen DeBoer, look, I don't know if he even had a full understanding of what he was walking into. But this is the fact about DeBoer. The guy wins about 88% of his games.
Yeah.
He's good. Trust me. He has a real track record.
Let me transition to the other side. If Norvell don't, get off the pot here, he's going to be on the hot seat.
Pressure.
He's got to be on the hot seat, right?
Look, he's had just as many bad seasons, and it's a little unfair because he came in during COVID. You look at his overall record, had a really good 2-year stretch in 2022 and 23, right? Won double-digit games, really good teams. But the other years hasn't been good. And let's say let's say worst case scenario for Florida State, and they only win 4 or 5 games. I think there's going to be some pressure there. I do.
I think the whole state of Florida could have a change if they don't win. The whole state, every single program except Central Florida, who just got Frost back, is under the hot seat, under the limelight, under the magnifying glass, Smitty.
Really? I think
Cristobal is.
No, he's not on the hot seat.
If he don't fucking, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got way too much political.
They're giving him a lot of money though, right? Like as far as NIL.
Yeah, but look, this is a fact about Cristobal. They went 5 wins, 7 wins, 10 wins. I think he's moving it forward. He's putting together a great recruiting class.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to navigate other things. But I think he's kind of here's what Cristobal needs to do. At least make the ACC title game. If you're standing opposite Clemson, who I believe might be the #1 team in the country, first week of December in Charlotte, you've done your job. You've moved it forward, and we're on schedule. Now, if we go backwards to 7 or 8 wins, it is a disappointing season. It's really that simple.
Let me ask you, transition. Let's go to Gainesville. Napier. He did a hell of a job, I thought, for all the turmoil that he had to deal with, and then taking over with the freshman Q, who I think is as talented as any of them in college football right now. Hardest schedule, beats teams they weren't supposed to be on paper, quote unquote. Did he save his job for 2 years, or is this year still going to be hot seat year?
Well, look, they're going to ride DJ Lagway. The problem is, let's say Napier's let's say the season falls apart. There's a chance if you make a coaching change, Lagway may look at his options. I thought Napier did a good job the last 6-7 weeks of beating LSU. They beat Ole Miss.
Yeah.
They became a tough out down the stretch, right? The question is, if Florida decides to make a change, what is that? Their third coach in 6 years? That's not a lot of stability. There comes a point you're going to have to give a guy a shot to really right the ship here. I don't even know if people do that anymore.
They don't do it. And the reason that he's kind of worse than everybody else scenario, in my opinion, because they're going to just say he's a FCS guy. He should have never been the guy at this big boy level. He was an FCS guy or a D1 assistant. That's what they're going to say. And that's what they already say in the circles that I talk to. So he's got a hard draw right there, in my opinion. And you're trying to do what, you're trying to live up to Urban Meyers and legends that came before him.
Pressure.
I don't know. Let's see. I want to look at and then Florida State. I just want to pull their schedule. Then Florida State, as you mentioned, Alabama to start. Like you said, if they get blown out of that game, how do they recover from that? I don't know. But that game right there is going to tell the sign. But then they got a. I don't know, Steve. I think you think Virginia Tech's getting better. I think you think NC State's getting better. Aren't they getting better though? Those teams. Then
Virginia
you got Clemson.
Tech. They got to keep Drones healthy. Drones has got to be a more consistent quarterback. He has some Jalen Hurts qualities to him, but Brent Pry needs to come up with a good year here. But last year, Virginia Tech lost a lot of close one-possession games. But look, that's a tough job post-Beamer.
They got a shitty first part of the year. I'm just telling you, they got a very, very winnable schedule to start with as far as Norville. We're talking Norville, Florida State. They got Alabama, obviously. You get through that, or you don't get through it. You got East Texas A&M.
That's a win.
You got Kent State.
Win.
Virginia.
Win.
Then you got your guys, Miami.
Loss.
And then you got Pittsburgh and Stanford.
Stanford and Cal, they're not good.
But then you got Wake Forest and then Clemson.
All right, Clemson's a loss. Wake Forest with Dickert, we'll see. Jake made that move. That they should win, I guess. Just telling you, Florida State offensively will be better than they were last year. I know that's not saying a lot.
Yeah.
But they will be better with Castellanos, with Malzahn than they were with DJ Ungololele.
I think they'll be like 7-5.
Then you wrap it up with Vatex, NC State, and then Florida. So
I think 7-5.
Yeah,
it's 4 at best.
And then, but does that keep his job though? There's no way, right?
Well, what's his buyout? Then I don't know what the school's financial situation is. Then you got to think like, who do you get to replace him? Then who's the guy you want?
But we saw what they did with the Willie Taggarts of the world, who they stole and from Oregon just to fire his ass and have to pay him $19 million to leave. Like Florida State hasn't made the best decisions since Bobby Bowden. I'm just
no, they haven't. But again, are they a school like A&M that can pay a coach $80 million buyout like Jimbo Fisher? I'm not sure that they are, but you know.
Yeah. Anyway, Smitty, I know we got some other stuff.
We got a few other things here to dive into, man. My Indianapolis Colts, some news came out of camp that
Shocker.
Daniel Jones has taken a significant lead over AR5 in the QB1 battle. Obviously, we picked him up here in the free agency. I'm actually not shocked. You know, I know you're being sarcastic. I'm not shocked. We know what type of talent AR5 has, but he has the lack of experience in college and even in the NFL due to injury. We'll never see it. We haven't seen it. So at least Daniel Jones, as bad as a quarterback as I think he is as well, at least we've seen like actual flashes. We've seen him
won a playoff game.
We've seen him exactly. He won a playoff game that year. I think he threw 15 touchdowns, 5 picks, ran for a couple touchdowns as well. So we've seen kind of the highs of Daniel Jones there, and we have a pretty good team around. So if Daniel Jones can get back to that version of himself, the Colts could fight for a playoff spot in that division. The AFC South is not that strong.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
Oh, God.
Comeback player of the year.
Listen,
Daniel
I hope
Jones.
you're right.
Comeback player of the year, Daniel Jones. You all heard it here first. Comeback player of the year.
Well, so Daniel Jones has already beaten out MCINT. My God.
I think they're going to use AR5 in certain packages, short yard, red zone, bring them in to like run. But I think Daniel Jones is going to be the clear-cut QB1 there, and I think it makes sense. AR5 needs a ton of development. As talented as he is, he needs a ton of development. He's still, you know, the crazy thing, Steve, he's still super young. He's younger than, like, I think Shador and some of these cats who got drafted this year.
He might go down, not the Jamarcus Russell, Ryan Leaf level, but this was a top 5 pick. And if you ever look at his last season at Florida, he threw for right around 50%.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, come on. And then like we talked about it last week. Oh, I think the NFL is easier than college. I said, well, they're not very smart if you think that. Then, like, you're trying to act like Nas. I'm like, my God, keep those nursery rhymes out of here. That's not the time and place. You're not good enough to even do that extra stuff. There's a lack of self-awareness with this guy. That I'm thinking, this is not my leader.
Hey, Steve said he ain't gonna do any extracurricular activities. You're not. It's football, and that's it. Don't do nothing.
You were giving us Peyton Manning level production in his prime. He could have gone on a country western tour, and you would have been like, "That's good."
I'm the same way, man.
Bad? I'm just fine.
Hey, you can't play the video game. Right. You can't. Don't go out to eat.
Way. Smitty, I'm the same way. I'm the same way. Micah Parsons, shut the fuck up. You got beat by 40. Get off your podcast. I'm the same way.
But hold on. But the other day you admitted, though, he's balling, though, so you can't really.
No, I said the difference between him and fucking what's his name going on his podcast is that's what he produces.
All right.
But I said, the one thing about AR5, if I am Lenoris Sellers and his father and whoever handlers he has, I look at AR5 and say, you know what, Lenoris? I know there's mock drafts that have him in the top 10 for next year's draft. I still think he's a very raw prospect. If you really want to maximize your overall ceiling, he's got to look at this as like, I've got 2 more years and hopefully about 30 more games at South Carolina because he needs to really develop his overall throwing.
Yeah.
Everything they do, a lot of the success they do is out of that triple option concepts and guys are wide open and he can kind of shot put the ball. But he's not making a lot of throws where it's 3rd and 8 and you know he's going to throw and he's reading defenses and he's anticipating throws, throwing. I don't see a lot of that. So there's a particular stat, and I don't know how it really plays in anymore, but quarterbacks that have started at least 30 games or so in college have a much higher success rate than guys who do not. That's a fact.
Man. That's real. We shall see. I hope you're right, JB, about Danny Dimes. I hope he can get back to his best form. And we shall see. But last topic here before Steve goes, man. 76ers star players, rookie last year, Jared McCain, had a interesting, I guess, video with influencer Funny Marco. Check this out.
Nail polish coming out. Explain it. What's the story behind it?
I'm wearing it right now, man. Bucket blue, self-explanatory. Point guard pink. Goat gold, what are we striving to be? Net neutral, real calm. Swish. We got rookie red, because I was a rookie. It's called MVP, the most valuable polish.
Shout out to this guy, whoever this nobody is. He actually did something I would do. Obviously, I did it before on the show when we showed the initial this kid when he came out with MVP. I think we did a vertical on that. God damn.
This is funny, Marco. He's an influencer. He does the funny interviews.
I don't know. I never seen this guy.
Yeah, funny Marco.
He looks like Samuel Jackson in Pulp Fiction.
Let's start with Steve real quick, though. Steve, what's your take on Jerry McCain's MVP, his most valuable polish? Are you a fan of it?
I'll say it for him. It's gay. Just say it. We don't need to rhyme. He's gay. It's gay.
Where have you gone, Anthony Mason? Where have you gone, Charles Oakley? Where have you gone,
Robert Parrish? Did you see his interview yesterday?
Ooh, and we ain't posted nothing yet, JB. Come on.
I posted on TikTok last night just to see. I'm going to post it on. Robert Parrish might have been the best interview of all time yesterday. He's motherfucking everybody. He said, fuck Magic Johnson.
Robert Parrish had one of the greatest lines ever. I read it in a book. So Lakers won a big game at the NBA Finals, and they had this PR guy by the name of Josh Rosenfeld. Guy was absolutely tortured by Pat Riley.
I remember him.
He ended up hating Riley, like a lot of other people in the Laker organization, except Michael Cooper. But anyway, so
that's our guy.
I think Magic was doing an interview. They're kind of near the floor, or they're in the garden.
Big three.
And Josh Rosenfeld's real happy, and he's waving a towel that's kind of wet, and he throws it into the crowd to tell the Boston fans, like, hey, we got one on you. And the towel ends up slapping Robert Parrish's then wife, and push, just right across the face. And it kind of became a little bit of a big story. So Rosenfeld's a very nice guy, and he's like, shit. All right. So the teams come back to L.A. one of the off days. I give Rosenfeld a lot of credit. He goes, hey, Robert, look, I threw the towel at the crowd. I didn't mean it to hit your wife. It was a real accident. And he's like, and Parrish is just like looking down at him like this. You know what, man? That bitch always opens her mouth too much, man. I appreciate you. We're good. Because I appreciate you, though.
Hey, I didn't know he said that, but after having that conversation yesterday, I know he said it.
That's the truth.
I know he said it.
If I don't have to question that at all. Like I know for a fact he said that.
Steve, he was me on someone else's show.
Yeah,
that's literally
Robert Parrish he might have been the toughest matchup outside of Moses Malone for about 3 years for Kareem.
Yep.
He really was because of his ability to run the floor. What he did to Kareem in game 1 of the 85 Finals, the Memorial Day Massacre, when the Celtics just blew out the Lakers 148-114. Parrish just absolutely beat Kareem up and down the floor, and we all buried Kareem, and Kareem took a reaming from Coach Riley, and it woke him up. But Parrish had that high release that you couldn't block. Very good player. Very excellent. Hall of Famer. One of the few guys that at one time told Jordan, hey, Mike, shut up. Okay.
I know. I remember that.
Hey, I'm not doing this shit. Go scare someone else, man.
Did you see what he said yesterday, though? He said, fuck the Lakers, fuck Magic, fuck everybody. He's like, I only respect Michael Cooper, Kareem, and Worthy. He's like, because I went into the hall with Worthy at the same time. I respect him. I respect Cooper because he was a defensive, he didn't care what you said about him. And then he said Kareem and all the civil things. Yeah. And
Robert's an honest guy. He actually said that when Larry Bird and Dr. J got into that brawl, he said, I kind of laid back because Larry talked shit about my contract situations. I'm like, fuck you, Larry.
He was talking shit about his Bulls teammate. You know, he obviously got a ring with the Bulls, and he was talking shit about some of the all the big men. And I said, hold on. I said, Robert, those are your teammates. He paused for a second. He said, and And motherfucker.
The truth is the truth. I'm just telling you. He told his wife flat out, man, that bitch talks too much, man.
And all he said yesterday was about JB. I got one girl right now. Don't put me on blast. I'm fucking. He was saying I got hoes. He was great.
That's why he's the chief.
So with all that said, full circle, are you guys going to root for Jerry McCain this next season?
No, him and Caleb Williams are probably dating, and no, I'm not.
I might get some of that MVP from my wife though.
The what?
Oh, God, Smitty. My God.
I said I might get some of that MVP from my wife.
I didn't even catch
regular Maybelline from CVS. Good.
I didn't even catch it.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Steve, before you leave, we got a video of
Hey, Steve is funny, man. Steve is funny.
He's smart, funny, huh?
He said Maybelline. I haven't heard of Maybelline in so long.
Or fucking Avon. Do those ladies still come around?
Wait, what was that called?
Late at night on the TV for $9.99. You can get your own.
Hey, by the way, guys, I saw a great documentary. We Beat the Dream Team about the USA Select Team of college
Chris
players
Webber and them?
that ended up not beating, but they outscored the Dream Team in the first scrimmage they had, I believe, in San Diego. And I looked at that 92 Select Team. It had Weber, Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill, Eric Montrose, Bobby Hurley, Rodney Rogers, and Allen Houston. You know, that team with a couple of other players, they might have been good enough to actually win the gold medal. They wouldn't have blown teams out by 50 the way the Dream Team did, but that was a talented group of college players. Because then you would have had Glenn Robinson.
Oh, big dog.
Kidd. Leitner would have been one of the main players instead of just being the 12th guy. But a very interesting documentary. It's on HBO Max, if anyone interested. We Beat the Dream Team.
I'm about to watch it. Are you on Whitlock after this?
Yes, I am, talking about various issues and stuff like that.
Hey, real quick, have you seen this video? I'm sure you have, but real quick, before you walk out the door.
Okay, he's a good fighter, a great fighter. I always say before I see him.
I don't get the panel. It's Shaq, Tom Brady, Dana White. Did you watch this? I'm sure it's on Ring.
I saw some. I mean, whatever.
So what
Dana White's promoting the fight. He's promoting the fight.
Yeah, I mean, look, Crawford gave a funny answer. Hey, who have you fought elite? And he said Victor Postal, which then pissed off all the Errol Spence cult. Look, the reality is Crawford's resume is not as good as you'd think, but I still think he's an excellent fighter. And a resume has never gotten in there to fight a fight. And I remember when he fought Spence, everyone kept saying Spence has fought better fighters. And I said, maybe he has. He ain't the better fighter, though, when it comes to Crawford.
Man, I thought I was pulling for Spence that night.
Anyway, July 12th. July 12th. Let's do Boxing Palooza. We'll do that.
We'll do nacho. We'll do wings. We'll do your favorite onion rings and deep fryer for Steve.
Right.
Good to go.
Right. Don't burn him.
Don't burn him this time, JB.
Smitty, you won't even fucking come.
It's a barbecue burger.
I'll be there, July 12th.
I love boxing. I'll be there.
It'll be nice and warm. I'll come over early. We'll watch some football.
I got the new car. Yeah, we
We'll
good.
do all that. We'll have a good time.
Barbecue burgers too, JB.
I've been getting blown up, Steve, for about questions to ask you. So, but I'm going to wait. But it's about the odds of this Crawford fight and the Vegas odds. We're going to wait though as we get closer and talk about it from various friends.
All right,
see you
guys,
on Whitlock later. See you
All
Thursday.
right, Steven.
Later. Steve Kim, everybody, pound the like, and go watch him on Whitlock after this show, though. His is recorded. Steve,
Clay, you got 2 minutes to become a member or you getting blocked.
Who?
Clay Hobbs.
Clay Hobbs is a bitch.
He got 2 members to turn green or my young guy Betty gonna block you.
Yeah, he been talking shit all week.
Yeah. All right.
All day. I mean, I don't even know.
All day.
Hey, so I tried a new thing on TikTok. Somebody told me, he's like, hey, try to post something on TikTok between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And I go, really? And so I did it for the Paris thing, and it did better than I thought. It's like a 10,000. I'm surprised because I didn't think it would do anything, but maybe that's a different deal. I don't know why. I guess it's the younger cats up playing video games.
Overseas and shit. I don't know. Algorithm is weird. I mean, it's weird now on all platforms now too because
it is. It's totally.
I post shit late on Instagram before, wake up next day and it's fucking popping. I posted like it's not the same way it used to be years ago where everything matters. I think they make it to where you see what you like.
Yeah.
Regardless of the time.
They fuck with they want to keep you guessing, I think. Because
right. I'm gonna see food, sports, and
they're probably giving away too much fucking money.
They giving away a lot of money right now.
No, I'm saying, you know what I mean? They're probably giving away too goddamn much money to, like, you know, for payouts and shit.
Right.
My Twitter videos, if I did a video like a in-person video, like, and then posted it right away, like a me doing football or something, that shit used to go crazy, like 1 million views on Twitter.
Twitter ain't shit no more. I've been trying to tell you that for a long time.
Man, it don't even move.
We don't even focus on Twitter at work because they told us straight up. They said we're not making no money, so they say just post on there just to kind of please the higher ups, but don't put a lot of focus. They say go to Instagram, Facebook, which is connected obviously, and go to TikTok, and then YouTube, of course. Obviously, YouTube is the big boss, so we do a lot on YouTube now, and it's coming from the corporate world. So
yeah. I don't trust corporate world, but.
You don't trust nobody. You don't trust Shane Gillis. You don't trust the fucking Wisconsin head coach. You don't trust corporate. Who do you trust?
Me and the other one ain't you.
With that being said, we're going to do a quick break. And
hey, real quick, before that, shout out to Joe Accord. Sorry.
What are you doing?
See, that's what you say. Sorry, right away. You don't say it later. It doesn't mean nothing. It's
cool,
like rubbing the dogs.
I be having great transitions, and then you just fuck it up.
I know.
Go ahead.
Because you are good at that. I fuck them up.
I'm cold with that shit.
Yeah. It's like Bailey liking Shane Gillis. Listen, I want to show a shout out to Joe Accord real quick.
What do you do?
He did a video on weather. Take a look.
Oh, for real? Oh, let's see it.
Everybody, I am Chartreuse Money, and today, as current temperatures right here, Saturday, it's 2:40 p.m., honey. It is 80 degrees here in Portland right now, honey, and we are feeling the effects. The sun is out. All it took was a pride parade to bring the sunshine out.
Hey, well, fuck it. I'll go home tonight. I'll drink my yak and smoke my stick, and I'll get it back cracking.
Kane, Philadelphia 76er, young rookie star who had a pretty solid year until he got hurt, is opening up his own nail line. I think there's a video we can check out.
I am so excited to announce something I've been.
Hold on, homie. This really happened. I was fucking with you.
Oh no, it's a real. Oh no, it's a real thing. Oh, hold on. I don't. No bullshit. Are you playing around right now?
Are you playing with me?
No, either you doing good TV and you got me food, or you really didn't know.
Hold on, homie. No, you bullshit. Like hold on. You're bullshitting me, homie.
Listen to the video.
Time out. No, I'm tell you why I'm not lying. Last year when Shaun King came on, this kid came on and he did like a nail promo.
Yeah,
he did like a thing in his fucking kitchen or something.
But he just 48 hours ago, maybe even less, said he was releasing a new nail line. So when you make that line during your rant with Caleb Williams, I thought you had saw this.
I can't make this. No, I did not see this.
Like on the Bible, like no bull, like no BS.
On everything I love, I never knew this. I thought this was old news. I just was brought up something that he did last year. I didn't know he really coming out with a fucking line. Show me, man.
Working on for a very long time now. Went to the lab and I actually created my own nail polish collection with Sally Hansen. It's crazy to even think that when I first started painting my nails that I'd be here with my own collection with colors that I made. Let's get into the colors and let me show you everything that I created. Obviously with the help of the Sally Hansen scientists. This collection is called MVP.
Hold on, homies. Pause. We have to address certain things that are said in this deal.
Mm-hmm.
We have a major problem, homie. We have a major masculinity problem in America. And athletes speaking about masculinity, athletes used to be the trump card. They used to be like, hey, be a man like me, play NBA, play NFL, play Major League Baseball. Now we got motherfuckers doing that one shit, that gay baseball thing that goes around. We did a commercial on
Savannah Bananas.
The bananas. The name is telling, and then you got men that are athletes. Homie, it started with Magic's kid and Dwayne Wade, but it's starting to get ridiculous, homie. To be honest, let's be real. So let's take away keywords out of this thing right here. He said, first of all, when I started to paint my nails, we got to be honest here, homie. We got to start using and saying what these cats actually say out of their mouth. We're not wearing our journalistic card today, but I'm going to put it on real quick because that's what he said, homie. He said, Smitty, when I started to paint my nails, I never thought it would come to this. So first of all, let's start with the context. That's what he said first of all. Let's rewind it just a little bit. Take a listen.
Everything that I created, obviously with the help of the Sally Hansen scientists. This collection is called MVP, and it stands for Most Valuable Polish. First up, we have bucket.
Go back a bit further. Right here.
My nails, that I'd be here.
Right there. I got to hear it again.
I think that when I first started painting my nails.
Let me hear it again.
I think that when I first started painting my nails,
when I first started painting my nails. When I first started painting my nails. That's what's sticking in my head right now. I'm stuck with that right now, Smitty. God, I can't. Okay, let's move on now.
I'd be here with my own collection with colors that I made. Let's get into the colors and let me show you everything that I created. Obviously with the help of the Sally Hansen scientists. This collection is called...
She has a scientist to make nail polish. Okay, got it. All right.
MVP, and it stands for Most Valuable Polish. First up,
MVP. It's going to be hard to trademark MVP, the actual acronym for it. I don't know how he'll do that. So
it could be MVPEE though, to make sure, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it could be a lot of shit. It could be gay, but let's take a look.
We have Bucket Blue. It literally says my name on the bottle. Got a little shimmer in it.
I can't do it, homie. I can't watch this cat hold it.
Come on, push through. We gotta watch the whole thing.
I can't watch him hold the thing like this, homie, with nail painted, homie. I can't do this.
Do you like the nail though? Like, no bullshit. Like did you do a good job?
Don't ask me that, homie. Don't ask me. You imagine my nails being painted? I'm holding the fucking polish like this, homie.
Kevin the Trucker, screenshot this and like paint it so we can see how it look.
Are you shitting me with this act? Am I supposed to hold the fucking? This is nail polish thing right here. Are you shitting me with this? I can't do this, homie. There's no fucking way I'm gonna be able to do this and moving on in my life. I can't move on today in my life with this in my fucking mind, homie.
You can't move on. What you gonna do?
It's stuck in my brain right now, homie. This right now, holding this nail. I see a motherfucker. I'm like, well, I'm gonna wrap that motherfucker around my dick. Like, come on, homie. I like nails around my dick. I like bitches' nails around my dick, homie. Shout out to Jasmine Crockett. Another fucking nobody. She's mad that she didn't get briefed on the Iran bombing. Her and Angel Reese are going to do a new show called fucking Nobodies Don't Sexualize Me. That's what they're going to come out with, a new show. So stay tuned for that one. It'll be on the Disney Network. Right after The View. So make sure you guys tune in to that. Anyway, moving on amicably, we got a guest on to speak, Houston ESPN guest that's going to talk all things Houston Rockets and Kevin Durant here in the next 20 minutes. So shout out to him.
Shout out to him. My fault. I had to handle some business real quick.
Like rub one out?
Nah, that's not business. That's business.
And
his name is Joe Blank. Like, by the way, if you're gonna talk about it, let's be about it. Joe Blank. All things Houston. Gonna come on here and talk about the KD trade, how the community feeling right now, etc. Man. So let's not that in. But let me try to pull this up right here and see what we got left here in the chamber before we lead up to this right here. I know we talked about this a little earlier here, but you know, matter of fact, let's talk about the trade that happened, and I'm sure we'll bring this up with him later too. But the Boston Celtics last night traded Drew Holiday to the Portland Trailblazers for Anthony Simons Traded him straight up. That along with 2 second-round picks as well. I think it shocked some people. I'm not shocked only because as good as a player as Drew Holiday is, and we know he's known for his defensive capabilities or ability. I think they need to go a little younger. They need to go more with someone who is a little bit more offensive as well. And with Jason Tatum being out next year with that Achilles tear, I think they're still trying to, make a run and still be solid. And they still have a lot of pieces there with Jaylen Brown, other guys there to where they can still in the East be a top 4 seed. And with Damian Lillard being out, with Halliburton being out, the East is kind of wide open in my opinion. So I think for the Celtics, they're thinking, hey, let's get younger. Let's get more a guy who can score more. And I think this makes sense. But JB, what's your thoughts?
Kevin Durant fucked up. And I can't wait to ask Joel Blank because here's the issue. That's why probably in my assumption, my opinion, I would think that Miami was number 1 on Kevin Durant's list to go to because I think he realizes the East is wide open, as you just stated. No Halliburton next year for at least the most part, we'll probably assume. No Tatum. No big 2 in Milwaukee, regardless of if Giannis stays or not, with Dame down with another Achilles. By the way, all 3 number 0s go down with Achilles tears. So the East is open, dog. So Cleveland is back in the mix. New York hasn't made a trade to get over the hump, in my opinion. They're a good team, but we saw what the Pacers' depth did to them. So the Pacers are arguably, it's going to be tough, right? You should see the odds drop after the Halliburton injury for next year's odds favorites to win it all.
Changes everything, yeah.
Yeah, so I think Kevin Durant wanted to go to the East. Miami said, nah, you're over the hill. We're not going to go and get rid of our guys for you. So I think Pat Riley stood on business and said, nah, we're going to stay away from it. And then Houston took him. That. Yeah, and Houston took it. Smitty on the West that I believe you still got a formidable Golden State. I'm sure they're going to do something this offseason. You got the Lakers who still got LeBron, and if an in-shape Luka really exists, then you got a superstar sitting there in L.A. that we'll see what they do around him. They got to get rim protection, in my opinion. You got the champs.
And defense. And
you got You got the champs in the division that just won it all.
That's the biggest threat.
You have we'll see what happened in Memphis. By the way, Memphis was like the 3rd seed for most of the season. I don't know if people realize they got pretty good. You still got the Nuggets who will try to get younger. And Dallas, what are they going to do? So there's other teams too in the West.
Kyrie's going to be out for a while, so.
And we still got other teams in the West that we can talk about. Kings weren't chopped liver last year. The Kings
weren't chopped liver.
The Clippers, they got older though, I think, but we'll see. And then you got
still good last year.
Are the Spurs getting younger? Are they going to get better?
They're getting better because Wemby's going to get better.
So, and then Minnesota, right? Didn't they go to the fucking Western Conference
Finals? Yeah.
So, I'm trying to figure out. I don't see it.
Well, first of all, again, y'all, he got traded. So you get traded wherever your team traded you to. Now he gave them the teams that he was interested in.
He could have traded. Yeah.
Yeah, but
he could have pulled a Harden though, right? He could have pulled a Harden. If Harden has weight and said, "I don't want to go there," then
this was one of the teams that he liked, and it makes sense though. Honestly, to me, they're doing what OKC did. They have a young core group of very talented guys.
Who's the older guy in OKC?
Potential all-star. They got Segun. They got a lot of young cats.
Who's the older guy though? Who's the older guy though on OKC? I don't see that.
If we're comparing them, it would be Shea, but obviously Shea's not old. But I'm saying for that team, he's their old guy. It's crazy as that sounds because that team, but that's the youngest team. Again, so I'm not saying it's identical.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's identical. I'm just saying you made one trade for your star. And you built the rest homegrown from just the draft. And then you have a really good, coach in Ime Udoka. They were just a 2nd seed just last year, this past season. And the problem with them is when they got in the playoffs, their guy, Jalen Green, who you would consider like their main star, was just way too inconsistent. You couldn't count on him to score points and be consistent. One thing we can say a lot about KD. One thing you don't got to worry about him is scoring the basket. Last year, averaged 25 points a game. The Suns were just a horrible put-together team. they had a big three, and that's it. And not really even a full big three because Bradley Beal was down there hurt all the time on his back, and they had zero depth. The Rockets got depth. They got youth. They got a really good coach. I think KD can just slip in there and be who he is. I'm not saying they're like, oh, they're winning the championship. I'm just saying, to me, they're in the mix for sure.
But Kevin Durant is a fucking calf injury away from making Houston
but
shittier.
that's everybody though.
Yeah,
that's always you know.
I'm just talking about this particular team. That's what I'm saying. Like the OKC, it was a trade for the MVP, obviously from the Clippers. The Clippers fucking dropped the bag again. So OKC got him, and then they went young organically for the most part. They got Caruso to get an older, wily veteran, a perimeter defender. He's one of their oldest guys, I think. He's only 30.
I don't think the Rockets are done yet either, by the way.
Yeah, I don't either, but either is Phoenix. So the bottom line is all these teams you keep mentioning, I don't see where the fucking Lakers are going to get better at. I don't see who they're going to get. How are they going to get somebody? I don't know. Are they going to try to go get an Adebayo out of Miami? The rumors are out there for that.
Adebayo.
Are they Adebayo? They're going to go. Are they going to go try to go get a? I don't think Giannis is possible. I don't think they can get anybody of significance. So the Lakers are really at an impasse. Like they got to either fucking shit or get out the pot too. They either have to rebuild.
I just think this next year we're gonna be middle of the pack team, 5th, 6th seed. It's gonna be LeBron's last year, and then once LeBron retires, I think that's when we can start to really fill out what the team's gonna be. I just think this year's like let LeBron retire and then figure it out.
This particular trade right here, though, they went and got younger. The Celtics had to do it. I thought. I like Holiday. He's a wily, gutty guy, but he kind of struggled in the Eastern Conference playoffs this year. His age kind of showed. That is clearly White's spot. White there. They got other guys off the bench that actually do more than Holiday did at his age, and I love him. California guy. I love what he does. His whole career, he's been underrated, in my opinion, his whole career. And it was time. And he coming back on the West Coast. It is what it is. I don't know. With Tatum out, I think the Celtics have to figure out what they're going to do. And I think they know Tatum's out. So I don't know, Smitty. The Celtics are in a hard spot too, just like Indiana now, just like the Pacers.
Yeah. We shall see. Let's move on to the next topic before we bring in our guests. And I know we talked about this a little bit earlier to start the show, but we actually didn't show any of the video. So I want to start off with just showing, and it's like a 2-minute video, so we don't have to show the whole thing, but let's show like a minute of it from the Gilbert Arenas podcast of them arguing the Kobe T-Mac situation, and then we can respond to it.
Somebody was saying like, yo, T-Mac is nice. That's what people were saying.
They were saying you was the best player in the league.
Dog. We were saying nobody said that. We're telling you what was. This is not Gilbert. We're 16. We're talking about what was being said in real time in 2002. We're talking about 2002. What was being actually said, dog. They was averaging 29. He was third in the league scoring. Who? You. This nigga was averaging 32 a game, scoring, and nigga getting triple teamed. Nobody in the league was guarding T-Mac. That's what the conversation was. Y'all thought I was just capping. I'm not telling you. There was a reason Kobe was feeling some type of way.
It is amazing these days, right?
These niggas are stupid.
Rather argue like
instead of listening.
You niggas will always think y'all right. You're not right. We were there.
I don't have to agree with you. I don't have to agree with you. I don't give a fuck what y'all. I don't have to agree. What is your take? What is your point? No, you are wrong. You niggas stupid. We're there. Damn. We're game playing. Niggas act like I gotta agree with you. You don't have to. You're not right. From 2002, can you tell us?
Thank you.
You niggas don't have. Y'all not right. Let's go. We're not right, and we were there, and we're game playing.
We can stop right there. Yeah. So I mean that particular clip, you know, like I said, I think him and Kenyon Martin is saying like we were actually playing against these guys at that time. Nick Young wasn't in the league yet, so we're telling you this when we're game planning and scheming against T-Mac or Kobe, and what the conversation was during that time in 02, 03 was like, shit, is it Kobe or T-Mac? And I think Gilbert's original take, because he was on First Take, I think like last week, and he was saying that if it all stemmed from the rings conversation, and they were saying that if rings matter so much, then why in 02 or 03, when Kobe had 3 rings already, T-Mac had none, why was the conversation around the league still who's better? Because if rings matter so much, it wouldn't even been no conversation. We all would have said Kobe was better than T-Mac. But he said when the media and the guys in the locker room was still talking like, I don't know, man, it was T-Mac or it was Kobe, it's that or the third. And that's part of the reason why Kobe he felt some type of way and wanted to get separated from Shaq to kind of show who he is. So I understand what they're saying. And again, T-Mac is a baller. This is no diss towards T-Mac. But to me, winning has to play a role in it because there's so many players who have great skill sets and score all day. We see Kyrie, we see there's so many the young guys now amazing at scoring, can dribble pass from a skill set standpoint. A lot of guys can do a lot of the same things. Vince Carter was incredible.
Just equate both of them, Smitty. Put them on both. Let's just say T-Mac and Kobe both never got a ring.
Right.
Who are you taking?
Still taking Kobe.
That's my point. I just don't understand the argument. I love T-Mac. I love him, everything he does. I loved watching him. I thought he was unbelievable in Houston. Unbelievable Orlando. I mean, this guy was unbelievable. Like, just
he has some injury problems too. That again, not his fault, but that played a role. It is what it is.
Later,
yeah, later.
Listen, I got him. I got T-Mac above Carmelo Anthony because at least he played defense. Or tried to.
Young Melo played some defense. I remember that Nuggets and Lakers series in the West Conference Finals. Him and Kobe was going at it.
But both effortless scores, both unbelievable scores.
It's close. It's a good comparison.
T-Mac was a little bit more effortless. He was
more athletic.
More athletic by far.
Mm-hmm.
I just think but he's not. They're either one of them are on Kobe's level. Like, let's be honest. But I do think T-Mac he's underrated.
I do. Too doesn't be true. He's underrated, but he ain't Kobe.
Yeah, not in this conference. No, and I don't know. I can't.
And like JB, you're a coach, man. You're a competitor. Why are we going to a space where winning doesn't matter? I don't understand that.
I don't either. I don't know why the conversation.
Right, I understand. Like you saying, well, your team is better than my team. Like you had.
If it comes to the GOAT conversation, is what is my whole thing.
There you go.
Because I broke it down the other day on all the sports. Like if you come down to the GOAT conversation, then I can't put Dan Marino above Joe Montana, Troy Aikman, or Tom Brady, or John Elway. And I compare John Elway and him because the skill sets Elway is more athletic, better runner, but skill set wise, quick release, 3/4 release, cannons, accurate, spiral, all the shit. But Elway won two. And at the end of the day, that's if we're gonna just talk all-time GOATs. If none of them got rings,
and we're just talking skill set,
or if all of them got rings, then it's a different conversation.
Right. Exactly my point.
Like Aaron Rodgers and Stafford right now. Aaron Rodgers and Stafford to me are kind of equal. Like
I hear you. You give the ring. I got you.
They're flirting, and I said it before. As much as I didn't want to say, Mahomes jumped Aaron Rodgers on my show last year, 2 years ago before you came on. When I said, hey, man, you want to be honest, as much shit as I give him, the motherfuckers upped him. He did it quicker. Not only did he do it quicker, he's been more. So, that's the end of the discussion for me. And I love Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback if it was just me, us three out in the park.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, Mahomes got three.
What they're not putting into play here, what their discussion in their debate is, to me, mindset and what you do in the biggest moments is a skill set. Like, being able to tap into that next level, that next space, and a playoff game to win a series, to get to the West Conference Finals, to get to the NBA Finals.
And that goes to basketball. Yeah.
And Kobe did, again, I hate and I love Shaq. I just hate that we paint this narrative, though, that, like, Shaq just carried Kobe. I'm like, no. You look at numbers, it was like Shaq averaged 29 and 15. Kobe averaged 29, 7 and 7. Game on the line, the ball's in Kobe's hand, not Shaq's hand. Kobe's closing it out because he can make the free throws and make the game winner. It was like a 1A, 1B thing. I guess Shaq was so dominant. I understand that. But don't forget, Shaq also played with Penny Hardaway, who was a beast but couldn't finish the job. So don't just tell me they make it seem like Kobe is just it's a plug and play. You put any other good guard there and they win 3 in a row. I don't believe that. Do I think T-Mac could have got 1 with Shaq? Probably so. But don't tell me you just a guaranteed 3-peat. That shit hard to do. I don't care what your team is. We see great players coming together all the time, and they can't win 3 in a row all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't like it. To me, it's discrediting the greatness of Kobe, and I don't like that.
Well, the greatness speaks for itself, and that's why I say if we do like GOAT conversation in hoops, that's why I don't have Shaq anywhere close to my top, because I know what he did to attain those rings versus the guys that were already won those rings on the same level. Let's say like Kobe, him, Jordan, him, Kareem, him, Magic, him, Bird, him. All these guys that won multiple rings plus were great at their time. That's why I don't have him in my GOAT. I know you have him in your conversation. I don't have him in my top 5. So, like, that's me because I'm using my same analysis to break down the GOAT when they've won versus the guys that never won. And if they never won versus a guy that's a similar skill set, I got to take the guy that won. So, like, if none of those guys won and LeBron has what he has, I would weigh it out because he chased the rings, but I would still have him above him because he won. Like, at the end of the day, if those other guys hadn't, is my point. So, like that's how I weigh the quarterback position, too. Like, there's more skilled guys. Obviously, we're not going to put, Flacco in a fucking GOAT conversation because he won one. But, like, at the same time, come on now. Guys that really were the guy for multiple years at that position, at that franchise, and i.e. Peyton Manning and Tom Brady and John Elway and Dan Marino, who stayed at those places for the majority of their career. Elway, or, Peyton moving on to Denver and getting it done in multiple places. So Manning kind of, it's different for me. I don't know.
And you made a good point a few minutes ago. You said take away championships. Who you picking? And you look at the resumes again. Not this is just facts. Look at the resumes. T-Mac, 7-time All-Star, 7-time All-NBA. He was most improved player, I think, in 2001. 2-time scoring champion. Beast. Great, and Hall of Famer. Great resume, great legacy. Let's look at Kobe. 18-time All-Star. 15 All-NBA. Also a 2-time scoring champion. All-rookie team. 4-time All-Star MVP. 12-time All-Defensive team. Stop it. MVP of the NBA.
Yeah, it's not close. And here's what are we talking about? And really, the mic drop is, when did Melo, T-Mac, those guys play?
What do you mean?
When did they play?
Like their era?
Yeah.
During Kobe's era.
Who stopped them from winning?
Bean.
Who won?
Bean.
I don't really know if there's any
more. Let's not talk about the Shaq stuff, because when Shaq left, he ran it back with Pau Gasol, who's a really good player, also really good, like all 19-7. But that's not like Gasol ain't no Shaq. You know what I'm saying? And I love Gasol, but he ain't no Shaq.
Yeah, and by the way, that roster is not close to one of these rosters you've seen with Golden State or even the Cleveland roster.
Gasol, Andrew Bynum. We had Trevor Ariza 1 year, then we had Metta World Peace another year.
To beat Boston? Come on, homie. Stop it.
That ring alone, homie, is one of the greatest rings of all time.
And go through your lumps and losing to Boston the year prior and then getting
2 years prior, beat Magic and then come back.
And then come back and get back.
In Game 7 against Paul Pierce, top 75 Hall of Famer. Ray Allen, top 75 Hall of Famer. Kevin Garnett, top 75 Hall of Famer. And then we talking about guys like Ray John Rondo, fucking one of the smartest players of all time, great playmaker. Come on, homie.
Can you check him and break it down and tell him?
So this is my Jason, what are you talking about? Peyton chased the ring in Denver, homie. Shaking my head. Do your homework. He did not chase the ring, homie. He had a neck injury, and they didn't know if he would be able to play anymore.
You fucking idiot. He got cut.
And the coach had the number 1 overall pick, and we didn't know if we wanted to bring Peyton back or draft Andrew Luck. And they went with youth because there's not too many times you get a chance to to get your next franchise quarterback, so we thought. And we didn't know Peyton Manning would be able to play again at that point. Thank God for him. He was able to, had a couple more great years, and then he won a Super Bowl during the year in which he lost his starting spot for a little while because his shoulder and neck was so messed up. But he started in the Super Bowl, didn't do too much, but didn't make any mistakes, made passes when he needed to, and got his second ring. He did not chase. He wanted to keep playing after he got cut. Do your homework, homie. Don't talk nothing about the coach, and don't talk nothing about the sheriff, Peyton Manning, my GOAT. Try again, homie. I don't
like him. He wrote it in all caps as if he knew. You know what I'm saying? That's like he's letting you know.
Yeah, do your homework, like he yelling at us type shit.
He's a bitch, and I don't like him, and I'm banning him.
Yeah.
Bye. He's gone. He's gone. Just because he did the caps.
If it was all lowercase, he would have been cool.
Yeah, I banned him. Did I ban him? Yeah, I banned him. And before I banned him, he said, let Jason speak for himself, Smitty. He ran to loaded Denver team. Facts. Hey, guess who got banned?
Oh.
Hey, you're gay. Hey, goodbye. Remember I actually sang it like pretty fucking decent. Like I could have sang that on a hook for somebody.
I can't remember what happened. We blocked somebody.
Like a year ago.
Every time we used to block somebody, we would sing it. We need to bring that back.
We need to get that back.
I like that.
We got rid of a lot of shit.
Yeah, hell yeah, hell no.
Because of you.
Real talk, jaw jacking. Smitty says so.
I think we got a real talk, jaw jacking.
I sent you something yesterday, homie. You didn't put it in here.
What was it on?
You soft as hell. It was on Instagram. Let me see.
I don't know why you didn't send it to Bailey.
Did I send it to him? Let me see. It's the realest show. We do stuff hella live. Let me see. You got the R. Kelly thing. You got the most state champions. You got the Pacific Resort in San Diego. I'm gonna check that out. You got the AI video of the Titanic shit. That shit's crazy. You got the AI video of the bear. Here we go. Real tall jaw jacking. I will send it to Bailey right now. Let me see. Your guest is here, by the way, JB. So we gonna take a quick step back. I'll add this to Bailey just in case we need it. And but man, basketball analyst, man, radio host on ESPN's 97.5 FM, covering all Houston sports. Our main man, the one and only JB, Joe Blank, is in the building. Joe, how you doing? Joe, can you hear us?
Guys, I'm trying, but I have no volume. I can't hear you guys right now.
You can't hear us?
No, I can't hear you guys right now.
We hear him. Let's see.
We can hear you. Bailey, maybe try to help him out if you can, Bailey. We'll take him off for now. Bailey, see if you can help him out, and then we'll see what we can do. I did find that video, Jason. I know Bailey's multitasking. It might be hard to do both, but I'll just send it in our chat just in case. We'll drop it here, paste it, and we'll keep the things rolling, man. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, become a member today if you haven't became one.
He might need to take the headphones off. I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Listen, this technology is for the young folks. You know, I don't get it. Let me see here. Pull up the rundown here. Let's help him out here. Carry the one. Joe Blame. I can't wait to ask him some questions about Houston, man, and see if he just. I think Houston's going to be in the West Conference Finals next year if they stay healthy.
Yeah, I don't. But it'd be a good conversation.
Great conversation. Great conversation.
See if we can get him.
Betty's working on behind the scenes, man. But while he's doing that, man, you can keep doing our talk.
I think those earmuffs have a mute button, no, or not? I don't know. Some people have problems when they come on, don't they? You hear me?
Okay, I think I'm good.
Gotcha, Joel. I appreciate you popping in on us.
Thank you, Joel.
Guys, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Nah, I appreciate you hopping on for us. Go ahead, Smitty. I know you want to right out the gate.
Well, first of all, before I just saw something, so now I got to switch my whole situation. I see that jersey right behind you. Aaron Rodgers, you got a Packers shirt on. Packers behind you. I'm assuming you're a big-time Green Bay Packers fan. Can you talk about that real quick?
So I was born and raised in Milwaukee, and my parents owned and operated their own restaurant kind of in the heart of Milwaukee Sports District. And the rumor is that I was able to recite the majority of the Packers roster when I was 2. Ooh. So if you can say that I was weaned off the nipple into being a Packer fan, then until the time I was able to have beer, probably true.
Love it. I love it.
Let's start football real quick, and then, obviously we're going to talk Houston and all that. But Aaron Rodgers is signing with the Steelers. A lot of people think that this is probably his last year, or he might have another year after this. You being a fan of his, do you think he still has something left in the tank based upon what you saw last year, or what's your honest feeling behind Aaron Rodgers?
So let's pad that fan of Aaron Rodgers thing. Let me just say that I was a fan of Aaron Rodgers when he was the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers because he was the best option that they could possibly have. I was not a fan of his antics when he wasn't on the field. I was not a fan of a lot of the stuff that, kind of the diva princess stuff that he's done throughout his career. Unbelievable arm talent, unbelievable quarterback. I think that the last couple of years you've seen what a lot of the Packers organization tried to keep under wraps for a majority of the time he was there, which is they had to coddle this guy. They had to baby this guy. Matt LaFleur, you're seeing the fact that Matt LaFleur is one hell of an offensive coordinator when the plays he calls are actually executed instead of audibled out of when Aaron got into the huddle. So I think this is definitely his last go around. I was convinced he was going to walk away. I think that from a standpoint of it's going to be interesting to see because you've got between Smith as the offensive coordinator and with Mike Tomlin, you've got some guys that are going to have their hands full with a guy that's going to come in thinking that he can do it the way he's always done it, which is call what he wants, when he wants, does what he wants. And I don't think Pittsburgh's kind of wired for that.
That's a hell of a point. And then staying on football here, going to your Packers, though, what are the expectations for the Packers? You have a great group of wide receivers, picked up another one here in the draft. Obviously, you got Jordan Love as your new franchise QB. You did lose big time corner here in the off season here, but just I guess from your perspective, what are the expectations for your Packers?
Yeah, you lost Jair Alexander, and he signed for a lot less. Green Bay was willing to give him that, but he was injured more than he played the last couple of years, and off the field he had some things going on too. But I think the big thing is where you started, Jordan Love. I am not a firm believer in Jordan Love. I am not a believer in Jordan Love as a guy that deserved all that money. I knew they were kind of backed into a corner where they had to give it to him. But if you watch a lot of the film, and I watch every play every week, he has the blessing of what you talked about. A lot of really good receivers. He threw a lot of balls like center fielders getting under fly balls in the outfield, and the receivers did a hell of a job running underneath them and then going and getting him yards. But you saw what happened in the San Francisco game in the playoffs a couple years ago where he tried to be Brett Favre. He doesn't have that kind of arm strength. He threw across his body into triple coverage. He does a lot of that where he gets caught flat-footed and makes a lot of throws that probably are unnecessary. I think that their defense is really good. I think that they've gotten better on the defensive side. I think offensively they're extremely talented. But you can only go as far as your quarterback takes you. And for me, that's where I have real concerns that I still think he has a lot to prove in terms of taking that team where it needs to go. Do I think they're a Super Bowl contender? No. Do I think that they can compete in the division? I think that's all on Jordan Love, whether they can. I think they can be better than Minnesota, but do I think they're better than Detroit? Probably not.
Yeah, Detroit losing those two coordinators is gonna weigh heavy. I want to see how that works out.
Exactly.
I love it. Football talk. Let me dive into your wheelhouse. So where are you at right now? Are you ESPN Houston or?
I am.
Okay, got you. So how'd you get into that deal? Are you a basketball guy by calling it by nature, or were you football in transition?
So I played 4 sports in high school. I played 2 in college, and out of school, I graduated sports management, got a job with the Portland Trail Blazers, and kind of just turned that into they needed a broadcasting guy. I said, sign me up. I'll do it. And I started getting into the broadcasting world. A couple of years later, the Rockets called and said, we need someone to run the broadcasting department. I took that job, got there, and some of the front office people said, we'd like you to actually be on air as well as run the department. I got into the TV side, the radio side. Eventually, I ended up calling 7 years doing color commentary and pre-half and post on Rockets games on the radio. Did a lot of some TV and shows on the side, and then got to a point where I got married, had kids, and can't work 80 hours a week anymore if I really truly want to be dedicated to my family. and ESPN Radio called and said, hey, would you consider doing a show? And I'm like, let me see, 3 hours a day versus 80 hours a week? Yeah, I can do that.
No doubt. No doubt.
That's what I'm trying to do, boy.
So are you in Houston doing it?
Yes,
or
sir.
are you
Yep,
okay?
yep.
Got you. So you're there on the ground. And I do a show after this one with Shaun Salisbury.
I know you do.
Yeah.
Yep.
So all right. So let me ask you, what's the biggest takeaway from this trade that shocked the world or didn't shock the world? And Jalen Green goes away. You stay pretty young. You get an old veteran and 37-year-old Kevin Durant. Was Houston number one on his board, or was Miami and they shunned him?
So what we heard all along was the three teams he was most interested in were the Spurs, the Rockets, and the Heat. And then it came down to what was each team willing to give. And I think going into it, to be honest, Phoenix thought that they could shoot for the moon. They were just going to go with the highest price they could possibly get and then figure it out from there. And I think from a Rockets perspective, they knew that they were sitting on probably the best package of assets that the Suns could want, except for Minnesota, because you've got an owner that's very volatile that is committed and hell-bent to trying to win now as well as rebuild for the future, which is, as you guys know, almost impossible in terms of trying to do both. But if the Minnesota offer was truly on the table, if you could have gotten DiVincenzo and you could have gotten Rudy Gobert and you could have gotten a young wing, one of their two young wings, and a pick or two, now along with Bradley Beal and or Booker and other guys, now that Phoenix team's probably competing for a playoff spot in the West, and they get some picks. But because the Rockets control the Suns' 3 first-round picks in the odd years, this year 27 and 29. That started the conversation being that they wanted some of those back. They were trying to get some of that back. Then because they had such a good nucleus of young talent, they were interested in that as well. We had heard and early on the packages that were being put out there, I'm like, that's way too much. Like Kevin Durant, say what you want. Yeah, he's one of the greatest scorers of all time. He's 37, soon to be 37 years old. And I know he averaged more points than Jalen Green last year, but he also didn't play every game. And we know that was a dysfunctional situation in Phoenix. So it was kind of like wait it out. Then we heard the Spurs weren't interested anymore, that they were going to turn the page. They were going to look a different direction. So then it became a waiting game. Miami didn't want to give up any of their young assets. Whereas I think if you guys followed the Rockets at all last year, you saw from a Rockets perspective, yeah, they gave up 2 of their 5 starters. But Jalen Green had basically, and I don't want to say worn out his welcome, but he showed exactly who he was. And you guys know this. In sports, the unfair comparison coming out is he's compared to Kobe Bryant. Not fair at all because that's a lot of weight to put on anyone's shoulders. But he comes out with that. And then his first playoff series, after game 1 where he lays an egg, he comes out and goes, maybe the court was a little too big. Maybe the lights were a little too bright. Maybe my stomach just didn't feel right. And you're like, have you ever heard Kobe, Michael, LeBron, any guy that wants to be Batman, not Robin, or the A guy on a team? No one is saying that.
Right.
And then he proceeded to pull a Houdini the rest of the series, and he disappeared, except for one game. And Dylan Brooks did what he was asked to do when they brought him in, but not for $91 million. But they needed a veteran. They had to spend money. They needed a guy that could be an enforcer, show some toughness to basically a classroom full of young kids. For 2 years, he did that. He basically did not do much in the playoffs because they didn't even give him the ball. So you give up those 2 guys and the number 10 pick, which was Phoenix's, which, by the way, if you look at the number 3 pick last year, Reed Shepherd, he basically did not play.
Right.
So if you take number 10 this year and put him on the Rockets, expect to get better, maybe in 2 years, but that kid is not going to be ready to help a team that's already got enough young talent. They need someone to drive the bus. So all season long last year for 45 minutes, this team was extremely good and athletic and young and up-tempo. And in the final 3 minutes of a game, they didn't have a guy that they could give the ball to and say, go get me a bucket. They didn't have a guy that could be on the floor to say, this is how we're going to get a bucket if it's not from me. And they fell apart in the playoffs primarily because they just didn't know how to win when it was game time.
Yeah.
So you add a Durant and you get better. I don't think they're done. I think that the fact that they didn't have to give up as much gets them on the right path. But now they're probably they can be potentially 30, 40 under because of the Van Vliet situation, because you can just not pick up his option. And they're talking about a much less dollar figure 3-year deal with him. But even if now the rumor out there is today, would they bring Harden back? Because Harden's a free agent. God, I hope not, but that's something that's being discussed. But they have options. And because Ime Udoka is this guy in charge that everybody seems to want to play for, they seem to have an upper hand on getting veterans that are going to want to come in and help this team.
So it sounds like, let me ask you this. Are you on the side of KD being a bus rider or a bus driver?
I think he can be both. I think he's going to drive the bus in certain situations. Now, you got a guy in Alpi Şengün who, when you give him the ball on the low post, you can say about the fact that he's got a 25-letter alphabet and there's not a whole lot of D in it. But at the same time, his footwork is very good. He can get you buckets. So you can play a two-man game with Şengün and Durant, and Durant still is capable. Now, I don't think he's going to carry this team for 48 minutes. But I think when you give the ball to a guy like Durant, because of his size advantage, because he still is such a pure shooter, and he can shoot over a lot of guys, and he's a really good deep three shooter, that he can be your guy when you need a bucket. He doesn't have to be it all game.
Yeah.
And then the rest of their offense is basically predicated on putting the gas pedal down. Get a live ball turnover, go the other way, be athletic as hell, finish at the rim, get to the free throw line, and that's how they beat a lot of teams night in, night out in the regular season.
Yeah, no doubt.
For sure. Yeah, I obviously we need to wait the rest of the offseason to see how everything shakes out with these other teams, who's getting who. But just where things stand right now, I think I said on the show yesterday that if all things are equal, if they stay healthy, I wouldn't be shocked if the Rockets are in the Western Conference Finals at least. I know that West is tough, but this team is really good. And I think you just did a beautiful breakdown of just what KD adds to this young team already. You got to assume that the young guys are going to get better. You bring up Reed Shepard, who didn't even play last year. That's a talented kid, though. And I mean, I would assume he's going to play this year. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it'll be better.
They have extremely high expectations for Reed Shepard. And you can't, there's only so much time you can spend in the G League if the first time he goes down and drops a 50 burger on the competition. How much better are you going to get running against guys that you're better than? He needs to be on the floor to understand. And I stood next to him on the floor last year, and I literally thought I was standing next to a prepubescent kid that's about to enter high school. Like, he hasn't filled out. He hasn't put on any muscle. He can shoot, he can jump, but in this league going up against grown-ass men, if you can't put your big boy pants on and play physical, then there's no spot on the floor for you. So they got two young guys that have the basketball ability to make this team better, but how they adapt is going to be key. Shepard has to do what I said. Cam Whitmore might be one of the most talented guys that could hardly touch the floor last year because of what's between his ears. Here's a kid that he grew up in the AAU system, fed with a silver spoon. Everywhere he goes, give him the ball, get out of the way. Plays 1 year at Villanova, comes out and says it's supposed to be a lottery pick, but already the word starts traveling. Doesn't take coaching well. Doesn't like to not be the man with the ball. Shows up on an NBA floor and realizes I'm no longer the best player on the floor, but still expects that I should get the ball. I should not have to play defense. Ime Udoka doesn't play that. So they sent him down a couple times, tried to get him his head right. Came back and had a 27-point game in one game. Next game, he starts doing the same stuff. They sit him down. He doesn't understand. He's pouting. They don't have time for it. If this kid could figure it out between his ears, you got to look. Every team in the league wanted him in one of these trades, the Kevin Durant trade, because it's not about basketball ability, fellas. It's about the fact that you got to figure it out between your ears. And at a certain point, the clock's going to stop ticking because teams don't have patience for that.
What about the Thompson kid is legit too, huh?
Oh man.
Yeah, now he's the kid that I thought was so raw offensively that it was going to be tough to find a spot for him on the floor. He just earned it by flat out playing defense at a level that not many in this league can play. And then when you find out he can finish, but then the more important thing, and you guys know this, some guys just don't love ball. He loves the game to where the story was last year, he and his brother wanted to work out every day. They shut down their gym that they were working out in. They went out on the asphalt and they were on the blacktop working out. And I'm sure the GMs are going, what are we doing with the knees and everything? But he can't stop thinking ball. So he's worked on his shot. He doesn't have a three-point shot per se, but he's working on it. But the kid works his tail off. He's got an unbelievable body and a really strong ticker to go after everything.
Athletic too, crazy athlete.
Oh my God. And yeah, exactly. When you talk about his reach at his size with his ability to guard just about every position on the floor, and he's got that kind of edge to him where we saw it a couple times last year. you're going to fool around and find out that if you push his buttons and thinking, oh, he's a little slim in the frame, he's still going to knock you on your ass.
Right.
So they love what he brings. He was, if there's one guy, and we had Jalen Green conversation and Shengun and all these guys. If there was one guy in my mind that was untradeable last year, it was Amen Thompson.
Well, based on what you're saying, sound like you're saying they might win the championship next season. I ain't want to say it, but
no, don't misconstrue. I'm with you. Did they get better? Absolutely. But is Denver going to get better and be better? Absolutely. Yeah. Is the team that won it in the West? Absolutely. Is Minnesota going away? No. So to me, yes, you're going to win a playoff series this year because you didn't get out of the first round this year with Golden State. Does that mean that you're going to win a chip? No. Does that mean, I'm with you, they may get to the West, but they are not, in my mind, that's a big, they have more work to do this offseason if they want to get to that level.
That's what I was going to ask. That's why I thought Miami was probably number one on his list, because the East is wide open with Halliburton and Tatum out and Dame out with Achilles and don't know what's going to happen in New York with Giannis and wherever he goes, whatever happens. The East to me made sense for him. That's why I thought Pat Riley saying, nah, we're going to pump our brakes on a 37-year-old and not give up what we wanted to give up. That's what I thought happened there. You think he would have preferred Miami because of the East, a little easier path?
So I think that might be the only, obviously everybody wants to play in Miami, but the thing to me would have been Miami had to part with young pieces they weren't willing to part with. But Kevin Durant is a kind of guy with the guys that they already had from a veteran perspective, to your point, that could allow them to compete and go further in the East, because you have Tyler Hero, because you have the big fella that can play versatility and guard the high post. You've got some young guys that are coming into their own, but you have to play with a New York team that's starting five is loaded. Now, Boston seems to be blowing it up. And today, the report is that Drew Holiday's already been traded. He's out. They're trying to trade more than that to cut salary. So Boston's run might be already over. You're right. With everything else that you mentioned, yeah. I mean, if they make this move, you've got to give to get. And if you gave up a little, some of your young pieces to add Kevin Durant to Bam and Tyler and the guys that they have, that team should have been able to compete. Cleveland, again, I don't want to sleep on Cleveland because they're talented, but they got to prove they can get over the hump. Spoelstra has been there and done that. Riley knows what it takes. I was a little surprised they weren't more competitive.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing from. Yeah, I've seen some guys, NBA guys, talk about the same thing you just mentioned. Like, man, I would have been all in on the guy in the East as it is probably the easier path. You got Cleveland, New York. We don't know, they're a good team, but obviously they're missing something. Yeah. And we'll see. It's going to be interesting. Let me ask you something real quick about a Houston franchise there. Good kid that I got to coach as a youngster and see grow up. CJ Stroud. You're Texans there in Houston. How's the addition of Nick Chubb, and how's that maturation process going with CJ from anything you've heard?
Everything that I've heard that we see and cover on a daily basis is that this kid is he's special. He is a workaholic. He's an X's and O's guy. Everything we heard in the offseason, because, the thing is, you can say, oh, he had the sophomore slump. Oh, he wasn't as good as he was in year one. Well, let's be honest. He had a year one that might have been one of the best, if not the best rookie seasons until Jaden Daniels that you've seen in the NFL. Right. But to come down from that, it's because he was running for his life on every play. His internal clock was ticking at a speed that, you could time the fastest Olympian in, because he was worried about getting his head ripped off. He had an offensive line that was completely just fighting for themselves and not on the same page. And he had an offensive coordinator that, quite frankly, by the end of year two, seemed like he was overmatched. And now suddenly it's like the calm has come back in. He disappeared all season. Instead of doing the podcast with Micah Parsons and putting, bulletin board material out there and just kind of freewheeling, he dialed back into his body, the playbook, and what he needs to get better. And he came in refocused and basically said, look, I love the fact that we've got a new offensive coordinator. I love the weapons that we have. And the Texans basically just said when they traded Laramie Tunsil, look, we're going to do addition by subtraction. If you aren't here dialed into our coaching staff the way we want to do it, doesn't matter how good you are. Our culture means more than that. You're going to go somewhere else. They reconstructed. We'll see how that works. They brought in their assistant offensive line coach as their offensive line coach, Popovich, who's under the New England system, who is fantastic. And there's a newfound kind of respect on the offensive line for the coaching staff. I think that Chubb, to me, was a unbelievable pickup because worst case scenario, he's your number 2 running back. He doesn't get that much, he gets carries here and there. But when you saw Mixon go out a year ago, this team fell off by leaps and bounds because they couldn't run the football because Dari Ogunbowale and others were trying to fill the void of Joe Mixon. But in best case scenario, if you got a 2-headed monster like they had when they had Hunt and they had Chubb in Cleveland, if you can give Joe Mixon some sets off, if you can give him some series off and Chubb comes right back in, I mean, you can literally bludgeon the defensive line while CJ can have more time. So I think that what they've done is they set themselves up for a good bounce back. I think that they're going to compete. How far they go is going to be predicated on the offensive line because I don't think it's CJ. He took a lot of strays last year for all that I just said. But I think that overall, at the end of the day, his ability with touch, with intelligence, the way he manages the game, I think he's going to be just fine.
Yeah. And Kaylee, having known him personally, he's the next, in my opinion, he's the next Kevin O'Connell, and that's underneath the same tree, sitting here in LA. And that offense that we run here for the Rams is going to transition for CJ perfectly, similar to what Stafford and Goff and Sam Darnold had last year. Right. Similar systems, all come from the same kind of tree. Underneath our guy here in LA. So he's done a great job. I think that helps him out. And then last year I went off on Swoik because my guy, my former player, Tank Dell, in the same exact fucking spot in the end zone blows out his knees, catastrophically. And that was a known thing. I broke down Swoik's shit, and you see that a lot under his system. You've seen wideouts in the wrong fucking spot for some reason. Why are they together? And that's what I thought was a big deal. So
Preach it, because here's the thing. You mentioned that play. Let's go back to the first time Tank Dell got hurt. Why in the hell is your slot receiver that's all 160 pounds trying to crack back block on the end of the line for a 4th and 1 on the goal line? Absolutely ridiculous.
And you break down Diggs' injury, same fucking situation. This guy, I don't know. I went off on him for those reasons too. So I agree. You lose a guy like Tank and you get injured and you got that issue. That's a big deal. I don't think CJ and Tank are best fucking friends, by the way. They don't understand. I don't think people understand the continuity that they throw on the offseason and all that shit. You get rid of your
CJ crying on the field in the middle of a playoff game because of the fact that his good friend got absolutely obliterated.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I don't know, man. We're gonna see. Hopefully, this thing happens. I think Durant's a bus rider, especially when you're not on the court as much as you would like. I put him in that AD conversation, street clothes. If you don't play, I don't believe you. If all the time, you can't be the leader, and leaders create more leaders, as we know. So I don't know.
I don't know. KD hasn't missed nearly as much as Anthony.
But I don't know if you could say he's a bus driver when you're not playing all the time at 37 years old.
But the situation matters, right? In this case, an aging Fred VanVleet ain't driving that bus. No matter how much Udoka wants him to be the floor general, he can put other guys in a position to score. He can't do that. And when he's tried, it has failed miserably because he keeps shooting, he keeps missing in this team. But the rest of this team is just too young to where they need someone that they can say has been there, done that. So when I say bus driver, here's a guy that's going to be one of the greatest scorers in NBA history. Here's a guy that, yes, he's on the backside and on the back 9 of his 18 holes of a career, but he still can get you buckets, and he still can average 20-some points a game. They need that because Jalen Green was a guy that didn't understand when I'm doubled and I'm shooting an off-balance 3, there's a better shot to be had. He just kept on cranking them up there. And then when the lights got bright, his grapes got small, and he shriveled up, and you're like, okay, I can't have that. So maybe it's because of the fact that he is the best. He's the best option you have to be the bus driver right now. But I think he's going to drive the bus.
Yeah, he's a calf injury away from you guys being fucked.
But again, I don't like that argument though, because that's with any team. If your star player on any team gets hurt, then it's a wrap. We just saw with the Pacers. We're going to see what the Celtics with Tatum got hurt. We just listed all these guys who got hurt, and now we're not counting on them to win it next year because they lost their star.
It's not any team because you got rid of a 22-year-old guy that drops 40 points every other week. Like, that's not normal. Jalen Green.
No, 40 points every other week, homie.
See, here's the argument.
In the playoffs.
Here's the argument on Jalen Green. Jalen Green's a hell of a regular season player, but James Harden was too.
Inconsistent, yeah.
For 82 games, he's certainly consistent. He'll play every night. He'll get you 20 points most nights. He'll do a lot to fill up a box score. But when it gets to nut cutting time, when you get against the big time competition and the playoff games, he's going to disappear in the blink of an eye, and he's going to pull a James Harden and disappear in the playoffs. And Houston has seen too much of that to know that we don't have the patience to sit through how many years before we figure out the light bulb ain't going on for James in the playoffs. If Jalen's going to do the same thing, we ain't got time for that. We're going to move on before we get caught, because remember, guys, they extended him before they had to, and they gave him way too much money. And that was before he crapped the bed. Now he craps the bed and you're on the hook for 30-some mil a year for the next 3 or 4 years. And you go, you know what? I'm not hanging around for all this. I'm going to dump out and I'm going to get something else.
So you think that the Harden thing kind of pushed the 22-year-old out of there because we don't want to sit around and wait on a guy like we did in other scenarios, maybe?
I think in certain ways, the salary and the performance led them to believe he's not going to snap out of this. He's not, no matter what his ceiling could be, it ain't going to be here, and it ain't going to be with this group. And because Udoka, and kind of getting back to your other point about Miami earlier and what his first choice, Udoka coached KD in Brooklyn. Udoka also, as one of his top assistants, has Royale Ivey. Royale Ivey went to Texas like KD. They're best friends. KD is Royale Ivey's godfather, one of his kids. Royale Ivey could have had other opportunities. He stayed with Ime in Houston. Houston then went and hired DJ Augustine this offseason to be in the front office. DJ and KD are tight. They played at Texas together. They put a kind of a KD screen around to say, if you come here, you will be insulated by your people. And that meant something. And I think that's what they want to do, because Udoka, look, the Rockets would be good being content playing the Sam Presti mold of, let's just keep loading up with young talent. Eventually, 1 or 2 of these guys are going to turn out to be great, and then we'll ride it out. But they got SGA, and the Rockets don't. So the problem is it's kind of like when the Colts had everything but a quarterback and kept trying to find that guy. They're trying to find who their guy is, and if they can't get one that's the same age and Jalen ain't that guy, then KD for a couple years, and when his contract, by the way, expires, so do a lot of other guys with a lot of money, to where you can go out and start going big game hunting if it doesn't work out. But at least this way, because Udoka went to ownership and he said, look, we have this thing on phases. He turned this thing around way quicker than people thought he could. But now it's like his expectation is Celtics when he was there. I need my next phase to be competing for a championship. And I know in my heart of hearts, Jalen Green ain't taking me there. He went to management and said, I want Kevin Durant if he's available. And they went and got him because he knows KD, and I think he'll bring out a lot of good in KD.
The Rockets are better today than they were a couple days ago.
That's my biggest point I've made to everybody. Those two guys crapped the bed the playoffs last year. So if you ask me, are they a better team today than they were last year, no matter what they did in the regular season? I go to what they did in the playoffs. I'd say the Rockets are a better team right now, not done before they even start the year, than they were last year in the playoffs.
Let me ask you one last thing, and I apologize for you staying on late. I appreciate you coming on. You got some great insight. The Suns and the Lakers, I just want to ask you, is there a possibility that something happens between those two teams? And are the Suns really considering trading even Jalen Green away before he even plays?
No doubt. Okay, if you look at their roster right now, and they are in such a tough situation with Bradley Beal because of the no trade, because they would have already moved on from him. They had a deal worked out with Milwaukee, who was desperate even before Dame got hurt because they needed help, and he vetoed it. He is such a problem child that they are probably going to have to just flat out eat it, cut him, and let him walk away and eat the money, because they can't afford to have him in their locker room anymore. But their owner, because he wants to try and win now, is still trying to stay relevant. I think that when you look at Phoenix, they didn't want Jalen Green. If you look at their roster right now, what position does Booker play? Shooting guard. What position does Beal play? Shooting guard. What position does Jalen Green play? Shooting guard. What position does, you look at most of their roster, it's all shooting guards. That's why they wanted That's why they wanted Jabari Smith, because they wanted a young athletic 4 at least that could add to their starting lineup. Because if you go Booker, Beal, and Brooks, who you just traded for, and then you add a power forward instead of Jalen Green, now you got 4/5 of a starting lineup that might be in the play-in, might compete. Now Phoenix is going, who's the next guy that we send out of here trying to salvage something, because we can't, and they won't trade Booker. So that's why I said you can't stay relevant and rebuild at the same time. It's just, and from a Lakers perspective, they need size. If Luka's healthy, LeBron, no matter what age he is still going to give you what he's got. If you want to trade Austin Reeves, but Austin Reeves was pretty damn good for you. But the fact that they nullified the trade with Charlotte, where they would have had a big that could have helped them immensely in the playoffs and probably helped them against Minnesota. Their focus right now is Robert Williams from Portland, big guys that can protect the rim, don't need to shoot a lot, that can make them better. If they're healthy and they add a big or two, the Lakers, to me, are a team that's going to give a team like the Rockets even problems, because Luka is a beast. If he, everybody says he's fat. Well, guess what? He's fat and led his team to the finals. If he loses some weight, where's he taking them? I mean, he could do whatever he wants.
Yeah, it's real.
It's going to be interesting, man. The Lakers, are they cooked?
I don't think they're cooked. Like I said, if they get a big or two, the thing is, if you got to give up Reeves to get him, now I think that you're actually taking a step back. And I think that no matter who you add as a big, Reeves saved your bacon a lot of times, because when LeBron was hurt or they didn't have it going, Reeves was able to get you 30 some nights. So I think that the key is going to be, can you trade some of your bench pieces to get kind of an unsung big, a big or two? Like I said, a younger guy can protect the rim, doesn't need the ball. All he's got to do is rebound and block some shots, finish a little bit, and the Lakers are a better team. So I don't think they're cooked by any means.
Man, great insight. I can't thank you enough. Hopefully we can get you on again maybe next season or something during the actual season, see how this KD thing works out, man. And much love, man. I appreciate everything you're doing, and make sure everybody follows them. You're on Instagram too? I'm at Instagram at Pac-Man Joel, and I'm at Twitter at Pac-Man Joel with a K for Packers, by the way. You're welcome. I saw that. I just followed you on Twitter and then posted it. So appreciate you, man. Hopefully we'll see you. Good luck with everything. Thanks for having me, guys. Anytime. Appreciate you.
We're going.
Great insight, man. Great insight right there. Love his takes. And he's a football guy. So
I mean, it's all Houston sports, not just basketball. So I love
it. Great guest. Thanks, Steve Kim, hopping on, and Joel, and all the insight, man. Tomorrow's Work Boot Wednesday. Join me and Shaun Salisbury on Unpaved here in about 50 minutes over on Rumble. We'll be there, and we'll see you on the other side. Peace.
This the real JB. You better find the skin real quick.